This is Boston Bruins hockey, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V, available at your local New England Honda dealers. The Bruins are brought to you by VA New England, Granite City Electric GCE Nitrate, Valvoline Instant Oil Change, Coors Banquet, your New England Ford dealers, Live Nation, Peerless Boilers, Safety Insurance, and by Shaw's and Star Market.
2 seconds, 1 second, it's over. The Bruins have won the Stanley Cup.
And by Town Fair Tire, TD Bank, your Boston area Nissan dealers, Charles D. Sheehy, Ticketmaster, Dairy Queen, Bosch Tools, Hub International New England, McGovern Auto Group, Timberline Construction, the Peterson School, your Eastern Region Lexus dealers, and by DraftKings Sportsbook.
After 39 long years, the Cup is back home. The Bruins are 2011 Stanley Cup champions.
Now, here's Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers.
From TD Garden in Boston, it's Bruins hockey as tonight the Bruins get back to work after a 2-week layoff as they welcome in the Anaheim Ducks. Great to have you along with Bob Beers. I'm Ryan Johnston. Tonight's storylines brought to you by your Boston area Chevrolet dealers. Get a closer look at Chevy's award-winning lineup at your New England Chevy dealers. Find exciting offers, too, on the powerful Silverado and feature-packed all-new Equinox. Well, the Bruins get back to action tonight after a 2-week layoff for the Four Nations face-off and have 25 games left in the regular season. They currently sit 2 points behind both Ottawa and Detroit for a wild card spot. They'll play 3 games at home here coming out of the break, and then they'll embark on a series of road trips throughout the month of March. But if they're going to make a playoff push, the time is now. Joe Sacco said this week he liked the way his team looked in practice when they returned from the break.
I was happy with it, to be honest. I thought that, when you have that much time off, there's going to be some rust that needs to come off, and there certainly was some rust. But I thought the effort was pretty solid from start to finish. It was a longer practice than what we've had in a while. You can tell that guys have been off for a good amount of time, but overall, I thought that the execution was good considering the amount of time off. No, I thought overall it was good effort by the guys today.
So the Bruins, as we all know, coming off of that break, I can't hear you, Beersy. The Bruins, as we all know, coming off of that break, as are the rest of the league, trying to figure out, how they're going to get things going here over the course of the last 25 games and see if they can make this push to the playoffs. But they'll have to do it without defenseman Charlie McAvoy, at least for the time being. He was injured playing for Team USA. He'll be sidelined for the near future. In addition, Hampus Lindholm still not ready to go after having been out since mid-November. Mason Lohrei was a question mark coming into this one as well. Did not go through the morning skate today. Is out on the ice for his pregame warm-ups today, trying to see if he can gut this one out because the Bruins are shorthanded defensively, and that is something that Joe Sacco's team is going to have to deal with tonight and for the near future.
It puts us in a situation where we have to look at things a little bit differently, and maybe as far as some adjustments that we want to make within our group, how we have to play, how our forwards have to be able to help out our D in certain situations. Let's face it, obviously they're 2 really good defensemen for us. They play a lot of minutes for us, but we've done it in the past. We've played some good hockey without them. I would expect our guys to hopefully rise to the challenge here. Like the adjustments that I'm talking about are more based on probably roles and minutes. I've said this before. You don't want guys to change their game just because someone's out of the lineup, but you do. As an individual, you have to be ready to dig in and get more minutes and be used in different situations. So it's incumbent upon all of our guys, not just our defensemen, but our forwards, to make sure that, we're all chipping in and helping out.
So we'll see if Lohrei gets to go tonight, but whether he does or not, this puts the Bruins in a tough spot. And we still can't hear Beersy, so we're still going to continue to work on that as we get ready for the Bruins and the Ducks. But, listen, they've been through this over the course of the last few weeks leading into the Four Nations break. Remember, Charlie McAvoy missed some significant time dealing with injuries prior to the break. He had come back and was playing really well. Now going to be out again. We'll kind of have to play wait and see as to how long it's going to be, but it's at least week to week. And Don Sweeney is actually going to address the media tomorrow, so hopefully we'll get a little bit of clarification as to what the situation is with McAvoy, how long they expect to be without him, and then we can say the same thing about Hampus Lindholm as well as they attempt to try to get him back into the lineup as quickly as possible and steady things defensively. But that's going to have to mean a lot more from people like Andrew Peak, from people like Brandon Carlo, from people like Nikita Zadorov, who, especially if Lohrei can't go, Zadorov's going to be thrust into a power play spot for the first time since joining the Bruins here. So that's something to keep our eye on, and we will let you know as soon as we get word on the lineup what it will look like tonight. How about it? Are we up and running?
Let's give it a shot.
That sounds good.
All right.
Good to have you here.
Yeah, some gremlins got into our booth, I guess, over the Four Nations, right? It was being used for one of the radio telecasts, or broadcasts, right. I should say. So I don't know where you are right now,
so
Ryan.
The biggest storyline is where this team is defensively right now. Talking about, McAvoy being out, Hampus Lindholm still being out. Looks like Lohrei might get a chance to play tonight.
Yeah, Lorai's out here in warm-up. That's a good sign. I know that they were very concerned this morning, especially being without Lindholm and McAvoy already. You take Lohrei out of that equation, that's going to be, you're up against it quite a bit more. I mean, Zadorov and Peak are going to get more time. Carlo's going to be counted on in a big way on that back end. I think the good news for the Bruins, like Anaheim can win games, and they've actually been playing some decent hockey. They don't score. They're the lowest scoring team in the NHL. And if the Bruins are going to have any success at all moving forward, and we've talked about it 100 times this year, they have to be stingy defensively. You have to make it hard for teams to get scoring chances, and when they're not, it's painfully obvious, and you see what happens. I mean, your goaltender can only keep you in so many games. You get those grade A chances and those high danger chances time after time after time, they're going to start to go in. So it's a challenge for the Bruins to be good defensively as a 5-man unit, including their goaltender, so 6-man unit. But at the same time, they're going to be up against it because they're missing some guys. Now, the last time they were missing McAvoy and Lindholm out of the lineup at the same time, guys played well for a little while, right? There was some good games in there. Yes, your goaltender helped you steal a couple of those, but you played pretty well. You kept your head above water, and then you ran into New Jersey, and that was kind of an ugly game there in the way they lost that. So, it kind of catches up to you after a little while when you're without those key players on the back end.
Well, for the Bruins coming off of the break, if you go back to just before the break, they let 2 third-period leads slip away against the Rangers and against Vegas. They failed to pick up a point in either of those games, and David Pastrnak knows they can't afford to let any more points get away from them.
Yeah, we will hit every point we can get, and I think everybody recognized the situation in here, and the practice was good. Boys looking sharp. I thought the pace was great, and we just need to translate to the game. And like you said, maybe a little bit easier schedule. I felt like we had a lot of 4 and 6, and felt a little tired, maybe or fatigue before the break. And now it's no excuses. We have to come in really hard.
No excuses tonight as the Bruins and the Ducks both well rested as they come in here for this one. Coming up here on the pregame show, we will go around the NHL, including a comeback win this afternoon for the Wild.
Rossi in on a breakaway. Lost control of the puck. Scores!
We'll hear more from Joe Sacco about changes he'd like to see from his team down the stretch.
I just think right now with our group, we need to check more up ice. I want to see our group start to check better and check more up ice in the offensive zone and the neutral zone.
And we'll take a closer look at the Anaheim Ducks.
Ducks pull their goaltender and score! Attaboy! The Anaheim Ducks have gone ahead 1-0.
That's on the way here on the 98.5, the Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
With Cox Mobile, you're covered coast to coast, so you can call your friends anytime on that road trip from New York City to LA, even in, Franklin, Illinois.
Huh, what if I call from Franklin, Georgia?
Yep, covered.
Ooh, Franklin, Texas?
Uh-huh.
Franklin, Kansas, Missouri, Virginia, Nebraska,
all
Connecticut?
covered. Cox Mobile runs on the network with more nationwide coverage than T-Mobile and has call quality you can rely on. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. Cox Internet required. Comparison based on percentage of area covered by T-Mobile as compared to Cox Mobile from FCC National Broadband Map of U.S. as of 12/31/23. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hi, this is Trent Frederick, and I'm excited to team up with the Shaws and Star Market Foundation and 98.5 The Sports Hub for Feeding the Puck for Families this year. Every time me or one of my teammates feeds the puck this season to help score a goal, the Shaws and Star Market Foundation Nourishing Neighbors initiative will donate funds to end hunger here in our local communities. Since its inception, Nourishing Neighbors has raised more than $250 million across the country to ensure our neighbors have the nutrition needed to thrive. Locally, the Shaws and Star Market Foundation will be enabling a donation of $100 every time we feed the puck for a goal to the Greater Boston Food Bank to help end hunger, up to $50,000. To learn more about Feeding the Puck for Families, visit 985thesportshub.com/feedthepuck.
Oh, this Bosch miter saw really is smooth. Feeling smooth. Who said that? It's your inner Bosch, baby. I'm that scoobity-bebop smooth feeling you get when you make smooth cuts with that moobity-mibbity-mibbity-mubbity miter saw. So I'll just keep ski-bop sawing then? Now you're getting it. Beep-bop-beat-up, wow, miter saw is my favorite.
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
The only place to hear the game, the Sports Hub.
Carlson with the game on his stick. Let's see what he's got.
Come on, Leo. Put this thing away. Here he comes. 1-on-1 to the left of the goaltender. Moving in. Shoots. Scores! And the Ducks win the game in a shootout. Back here at TD Garden, Bruins and the Anaheim Ducks coming up. The Ducks coming into the night with a .500 record, despite, as Beersy mentioned earlier, being the lowest scoring team in the league. They don't have anyone on their roster with more than 16 goals this season. They don't have anyone with more than 39 points this season. But just prior to the break, Greg Cronin's team went on a run, winning 6 of their last 7, and they're hoping to play themselves into playoff contention.
I mean, I think we're in a good spot. We're hunting down that 8th spot there, and this gives us an opportunity to have that goal in front of us going to the break.
Missing Radko tonight. What did you make?
Yeah, they're currently 6 points out. It's going to be tough for them to catch some of the teams in front of them, just because you've got a few teams in between. So it's not just you're not just chasing one team. You've got a couple of teams you got to climb over. So they're going to be up against it. I think the biggest thing for them is their growth, as far as some of their younger players and where they are in their process to become better NHL players. You know, you look at some of their guys that you expect big things out of, and they really haven't gotten it, especially from the goal scoring department. We see them twice a year. We saw them twice at the beginning of last season. We haven't seen them since, I think it was either October or November of last year, since the Bruins have faced Anaheim. But you've got guys like Zegras and Carlson, and you're looking for a little bit more out of them offensively. I know Zegras was hurt; he's only played in just over 30 games, but his point production is down. So they're looking for these younger guys to take that next step. Are they ready to do that yet? Are they the guys that they think can do that? And as Greg Cronin, who I'm very familiar with, Greg, he was a grad assistant for me up at University of Maine. It was his first coaching job. Good guy. Strong-willed, strong-minded, intense, passionate. Is it the right mix? And can he push the right buttons in order to get the most out of them?
Yeah, you talk about some of the guys that they've got. A guy like Leo Carlson, young guy who third overall or second overall pick a couple of years ago, got the chance to play in the Four Nations for Sweden. That's a guy that they're counting on to help carry this franchise. And
his numbers aren't
in the future.
His numbers. I mean, he's still very young. I understand that, but his numbers aren't exactly where they were hoped that they would be. And I think Zegras is the same thing. I mean, Zegras, and like I said, we only see them twice a year, but the stories you hear, and he can be a little bit tough sometimes to kind of navigate through some of the water. He's got all the skill in the world, but can he become a good everyday pro? And that's something that the coaching staff and as an organization, they're trying to coax a lot out of him and maximize his abilities. And there's a lot of ability there. So how do you get that out of him?
They haven't made the playoffs in 6 straight seasons. This could be their 7th. They haven't won a playoff game since 2017. So,
and they do have some veteran guys now. You know, they picked up Trouba earlier this year. You know, Gudas is a solid backline. You got to know when he's on the ice. He's going to step up. He's going to hit. He's going to finish some hits. Killorn with the Stanley Cup pedigree, and you know they've got some guys who they've tried to sprinkle in, some good veteran players who they've tried to sprinkle in to help some of these younger players.
Well, coming up next, we'll get a check of the Sports Hub headlines with Mark Dondero. Then we'll go around the NHL here on the 98.5, the Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
With Cox Mobile, you're covered coast to coast, so you can call your friends anytime on that road trip from New York City to L.A., even in, Franklin, Illinois.
Huh, what if I call from Franklin, Georgia?
Yep, covered.
Ooh, Franklin, Texas?
Uh-huh.
Franklin, Kansas, Missouri, Virginia, Nebraska,
Yeah, all covered. Cox Mobile runs on the network with more nationwide coverage than T-Mobile and has call quality you can rely on. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. Cox Internet required. Comparison based on percentage of area covered by T-Mobile as compared to Cox Mobile from FCC National Broadband Map of U.S. as of 12/31/23. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
President's Month at McGovern Ford in Framingham, Saugus, and Lowell offers you the biggest savings of the year. Explore our amazing offers, which include a new 2024 Mustang Mach-E Select lease for just $179 a month. 36 months, 7,500 miles per year, $29.99 due at signing. We'll help you save more Washingtons this month at McGovern Ford in Framingham, Saugus, and Lowell. Shop now at McGovernFord.com. That's McGovernFord.com. Take delivery by February 28th, 2025. Tax, title, license, and dealer fees extra. On approved credit, see dealer for details.
It's the month of love, so make sure you show it to the one who gets you through it all, your vehicle. Valvoline Instant Oil Change has you covered with 15-minute stay-in-your-car oil changes. No box of chocolates, bouquet of flowers, or appointment is necessary. Give your car the ultimate Valentine's Day treat, fast, friendly, and reliable service. Plus, you're guaranteed not to get ghosted afterward. Go to NewEnglandOilChange.com to save 15%. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of feeling the love.
98.5 The Sports Hub and the Bruins Radio Network welcome the following new partners. Your local Nissan dealers. You deserve a car that thrills you, and Nissan's got an exciting full line that'll put goosebumps on your goosebumps. Experience the thrill for yourself. Shop your local Nissan store at NissanUSA.com. And Dairy Queen. DQ fans, kick off your favorite game with a sauced and tossed chicken strip basket. Only at participating DQ locations. Happy taste good. From the home of the Bruins, thank you for joining our winning team.
Hey, what's up, it's Owen? If you're a plumber, a pipe fitter, if you're in the piping trades, then you got to call my friends at Charles D. Sheehy. CDS is proud to work with the region's best life science, biotech, and pharma contractors to help them deliver their projects on time within budget. Make CDS your choice for pipe, valves, and fittings. Call them today.
Felger and Naz, afternoons 2 to 6 on the Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines.
The Boston Bruins getting back on the ice tonight, fresh off the Four Nations tournament hiatus. The Bees hosting the Ducks at TD Garden. Brad Marchand, Jeremy Swayman will play. Charlie McAvoy remains out. Puck drop at the top of the hour. Grapefruit League action. The Red Sox beat the Rays 6-4 on Saturday. Tyler Miller had the go-ahead 2-run home run in the top of the ninth for Boston. Celtics will be back in action on Sunday when they host the New York Knicks, who were dismissed in a big way by the Cavs last night. Cavs beat the Knicks by 37 points. Bruins Authentics has launched the first of 3 away sets of game-used jerseys from the 2024-2025 season, and the auction is now live. Place your bids to take home a jersey the players wore on the road, including the jersey 7 players wore when they made their debut in the Spoke B. The sweater David Pastrnak sported when he notched 400 career assists, and more from the 2024-25 roster. Head to BruinsAuthentics.com to place your bid before the auction ends on Thursday, February 27th at 10 p.m. Eastern. I'm Mark Dondero for Boston's Home for Sports on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Welcome to the Nissan Now sales event. Are you all right?
I wanted to get here before the best offers were gone.
You're just in time. Let me show you what we've got. There's the all-new Kicks, the sporty Sentra, or our best-selling Rogue, a consumer guide Best Buy 11 years in a row. You must be exhausted.
I think I'm ready for my next adventure.
For the #1 shopping experience among non-luxury car buyers, according to J.D. Power, get to Nissan now. Now get a low $249 per month lease for 39 months on Rogue. For JD Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Well-qualified lessees. 2025 Rogue S all-wheel drive. $46.19 initial payment excludes tax, title, and license. Disposition fee due at lease end. Take from new dealer stock. Call 1-888-858-8319 for offer details. Ends 3/3/25.
DQ presents the sound of your next DQ meal. It's the sound of savoring a signature stack burger, chicken strip basket, or $7 meal deal. Oh, it's quiet because they're too busy enjoying their DQ food. Grab yours at participating U.S. locations today. DQ, happy tastes good.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. It's time for powerful performance, plus plenty of room inside. Start your journey in a brand new vehicle. Check out the Honda Ridgeline, Pilot, or CRV.
See dealer for financing details. Geico's motorcycle expertise gives me the coverage I need, like 24/7 claims. I'm on cloud 9.
Disclaimer, clouds are wholly unable to support the weight of an adult human.
What's happening?
Furthermore, clouds are not numbered. Even if you procured a jetpack and searched, you'd find no cloud numbered 9. However, at that altitude, you'd likely befriend a flock of migrating snow geese.
Geese?
Who'd encourage you to leave your 24/7 Geico motorcycle claims insurance behind, as they would take you in and even share their dinner of crickets and clovers with you.
Ew.
Geico assumes no liability for any indigestion that may occur from a clover cricket dinner. Geico, expertise for your motorcycle.
The home of the Bees, the Sports Hub.
Back at TD Garden, Bruins and the Ducks coming up as we take a quick swing around the NHL. The Red Wings coughed up a 2-goal lead in the last 7 minutes. Lost to Minnesota in overtime today, 4-3. In Philadelphia, the Flyers, a 6-3 win over Edmonton.
Here's a turnover. The Flyers with a chance. Michkov for the puck. Tippett goes to the net. Michkov for Tippett. He scores! Yeah, maybe there is some chemistry here. And the Flyers are back on top, 4-3-2 for Tippett.
Yeah, Tippett with a couple of goals. Michkov had 3 points in that game, and the Flyers double up the Edmonton Oilers. 6-3 was the final there. You're curious about how teams and how players would come back after the Four Nations Cup, and we just expect so much of Connor McDavid, and he delivered right when the time was right, but no points here today against the Flyers in this game. So I'm just curious, individuals and team-wise, how teams come back into the regular season and what it's going to look like.
Well, the Capitals didn't have anybody play in the Four Nations. They came storming out of the break with an 8-3 win in Pittsburgh.
Triggered his first multi-goal game of the season, and they add another. Alexei Protas makes it 5-2 Washington. And there's going to be a goaltending change.
Yeah, 5 goals on 14 shots at Nedeljkovic there for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Yeah, Pittsburgh didn't get the memo. 8-3, the Washington Capitals all over the Penguins today.
Yeah, somebody tell the Rangers the break is over. They're down 5-1 in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Snyder can't handle Greenway, who just protects the puck, comes off the wall. Greenway still with it. High slot, turns, faces the net, lets it go, scores! Are you kidding me?
Igor Shesterkin this game, 5 goals on 16 shots. He got pulled, and Jonathan Quick is in the nets now.
And a couple of other games in progress. The Kraken have a 1-0 lead over Florida after one. End of one in New Jersey. The Devils trailing the Stars 2-0. Colorado and Nashville played a scoreless first. And one of the games we want to mention tonight, Carolina at Toronto, is going to be a good one. We'll get a conversation with Joe Sacco when we come back here on the pregame show. On the 98.5, the Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CRV at your local Honda dealer.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
Yes, goal.
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club. Politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize. And turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
We all know there's a hurricane season, but hurricanes, evidently they missed the memo. Same thing with Tornado Alley. Tornadoes are going so far off course, they've hit every New England state in the last 5 years. Start preparing now by talking with an independent agent about safety insurance. Whether it's wind, water, fire, or ice, they'll make sure you're covered no matter what Mother Nature throws at you, including hail. Ow! 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 Safety insurance will help you manage life's storms.
This Bosch 2-in-1 impact driver rules.
Oh, yeah!
That couldn't have been.
Macho Man Randy Savage indeed, yeah. AKA, you're in a Bosch. I'm a macho manifestation of that feeling you get when you use that 2-in-1 impact driver.
Oh, yeah?
Nah, say it with your chest, brother. Oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah!
We'll work on that. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
Connect with Boston's home for sports online. 98.5 thesportshub.com.
Our pregame interview with Joe Sacco is brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. We'll help you manage life's storms.
Joe, as you get set to take on Anaheim here today, it's been a couple of weeks. Just curious, your impressions of the Four Nations Cup, what you thought of those games, what you liked, maybe what you didn't like. How did you see it? How did you watch it?
Yeah, I think from my end, it certainly took on a life of its own, more so than I thought it was going to be. You know, it was the talk around town, and it really got a lot of exposure and a lot of hype, which is excellent for the game. I think it's great publicity for our sport. People that aren't diehard hockey fans seem to be talking about it quite a bit too. So from that end, it was really good to see. I enjoyed it. I thought the games were competitive. I thought that the first U.S.-Canada game, I think that game drew a lot of attention to the tournament because of the start of the game. I think people realize they see that, okay, well, they're playing for real now. It's not just an exhibition or like an all-star game, so to speak. So I think that game brought a lot of attention to the tournament, rightfully so. It didn't disappoint. The last game was an excellent game. You have the best players in the world. You know, that game seemed like it could have went either way. It was very close. Just really good hockey.
So you had what you called a mini training camp here the last few days. You talked about some tweaks and some things that you wanted to see from your team. What are those things?
I just think right now with our group, we need to check more up ice. We talk about defending all the time. We talk about that a lot, defending in our zone, but I want to see our group start to check better and check more up ice in the offensive zone and the neutral zone, which will alleviate some of the pressure playing in our zone, whether it be in the forecheck, the neutral zone forecheck, those areas. Those are some of the things as a group that we've discussed as far as how we want to be more difficult to play against. Not just in our zone. It starts up ice. It starts on the forecheck. It starts between the blue lines. And I think if we can be successful in that area, like I said, it'll take some of the time away from our game in the defensive zone. Less time in that end is always better, and more time in the other zone.
In saying that, then, on your forechecks, like what specifically, whether it's a dump in or whether it's positioning and F1 and F2 and where they're going, what do you want to see?
We want to see, I want to see our forwards start really to move forward. I don't like when we retreat and we start to skate backwards. So if we have one guy going and they switch sides on us, I don't want to see our other forward starting to back off. I want him to make sure that he's on his toes. He's ready to pressure the over. We want to have a good third forward in a good spot so that our D are able to keep plays alive, keep pucks alive on the walls, on the boards. And if we do that, if we have that commitment from our F3, that gives our D the green light to keep more plays in. And that's just something that we're looking to do more of now.
So unique situation with having the 2 weeks off. I know that in the past you might have 10 days off, whether it's the All-Star break and that built-in week. How do you see your team coming back? And do you lean on other coaches, talk to them about how they approach coming back?
I've had a few discussions with other coaches that have gone through this, so that's been helpful. I think that with our group, we had a lot of games that felt like leading up to the break. 57, I think, to be exact. Probably a few more than some other teams. It felt like we were playing a lot of 3 and 4 or 4 and 6. That's what it seemed like. So I think the break comes at a good time for a lot of our guys who log heavy minutes. Having said that, coming back now, they seem to be that they've got that extra juice, that extra jump again, which is really good. They're excited. They know what lies ahead for us, and there's an opportunity here for us to try to do something.
So, not to get too far ahead, but you look at March, I think 10 out of the 14 games are on the road. You've had trouble on the road, but you've got 3 home games before the month of March starts. And how much emphasis, or how do you break it down in sense of, okay, we have these 3 games, and then, then we'll take March as it comes.
Right. I think, you never want to look ahead of any game, as we all know.
Yeah.
It's the old cliche, it's one at a time. But having said that, we've talked with our group about breaking it down in the smaller increments, not to look at the whole schedule that lies ahead. And we've come up with a formula, I guess, if you want to call it that, where we're breaking it down into smaller series, and that's how we're going to approach the rest of the year, so that it's not like, we have to win this many games and we have to have this many points, because we don't know what the number is, right? And that's too daunting, right? Like that's a lot to ask. So let's break it down to a smaller scale for our guys, something that they can look at, and it gives us an opportunity to compete in a smaller series.
So last question for you. I don't know if anybody's asked you about Anaheim yet, but you've got Anaheim here today. First time you've seen them this season. What have you seen from them?
Well, they're a young team that has a lot of energy, right? They play a fast-paced game. They've sprinkled in some veterans in their lineup. They have Trouba, they have Killorn, they have Gouda. So they have some guys that have been around, but the majority of the bulk of their team is based on youth. With youth comes speed. With youth comes a lot of energy, like I said, so it's a fast tempo game. We're going to hope to rely, like I said earlier, on our checking game, especially up ice, through the neutral zone, which will hopefully make them defend more. And we feel that eventually if we can make them defend more, we're going to have more opportunities. The better chance they will be cracking eventually and giving us some looks.
Appreciate it, Joe. Good luck here tonight.
Okay, thanks.
That's Coach Joe Sacco, Bruins, Anaheim, next.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. WBZ-FM at HD Boston, 98.5 The Sports Hub. He's the media station.
The siren will sound as the puck gets directed into the empty net. I don't think it'll count, but it doesn't matter either way, as the Bruins, for the second straight game, will lose in regulation after they led through 2 periods. Last time we saw the Bruins, they were left with a bitter taste in their mouths after losing back-to-back games going into the Four Nations break. With only 25 games left, interim head coach Joe Sacco knows they need to be at their best if they want to make the playoffs.
We have to play some good hockey here in the last 25 games to put ourselves in a position to compete for a playoff spot. You can break it down into smaller increments. I think that's a good way for us to approach this, just under a third of the season left.
Tonight, the home stretch begins as they welcome Anaheim to TD Garden. It's the Bruins and the Ducks coming up next.
Boston Bruins hockey is driven by the stylish Honda Accord, available at your local New England Honda dealers.
Nathan Horton wins Game 7 in overtime. David Pastrnak wins the series for the Bruins. The rebound to Trent Frederick, and the Bruins are back in front by 2.
The Bruins are brought to you by VA New England, Granite City Electric GCE Nitrate, Valvoline Instant Oil Change, Coors Banquet, Bosch Tools, your New England Ford dealers, Live Nation, Safety Insurance, Peerless Boilers, and by Shaw's and Star Market.
Backhand, it'll save Thomas. Swayman made a great stop at the far post.
And by Town Fair Tire, TD Bank, your Boston area Nissan dealers, Charles D. Sheehy, Ticketmaster, Dairy Queen, McGovern Auto Group, Hub International New England, Timberline Construction, the Peterson School, your Eastern Region Lexus dealers, and by DraftKings Sportsbook.
Back to Orr. Put in. It's 100. Backhand score, a penalty shot for Raymond Bourque.
David Pastrnak calls game, and the Bruins win it 2-1. Bergeron, and the Bruins win the series.
Now, here's Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers.
We're at TD Garden, where the Bruins and Anaheim Ducks get ready to meet for the first time this year. Shorthanded defensively, coming off a 2-week break. What's the biggest key tonight?
It's just how you're going to acclimate yourself coming off this break. 2 weeks. We've seen scores all over the map from earlier games today. Was very curious to see how players and teams got readjusted and set up to play here for this stretch run. It's going to be a busy month and a half here between now and the playoffs, and got the trade deadline coming up. A lot of things, a lot of moving parts, and how fast can the Bruins get themselves back into intensity game mode?
Keys to the game brought to you by Town Fair Tire. For the guaranteed lowest prices on tires, go to Town Fair Tire, because nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Opening face-off next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
With Cox Mobile, you're covered coast to coast, so you can call your friends anytime on that road trip from New York City to LA, even in, Franklin, Illinois.
Huh, what if I call from Franklin, Georgia?
Yep, covered.
Ooh, Franklin, Texas?
Uh-huh.
Franklin, Kansas, Missouri, Virginia, Nebraska,
Yeah, all
Connecticut.
covered. Cox Mobile runs on the network with more nationwide coverage than T-Mobile and has call quality you can rely on. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. Cox Internet required. Comparison based on percentage of area covered by T-Mobile as compared to Cox Mobile from FCC National Broadband Map of US as of 12/31/23. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. Visit your New England Chevy dealers.
Celtics play here at the Sports Hub.
Bruins and the Anaheim Ducks getting ready to drop the puck here at TD Garden. And before we get to that, we get tonight's national anthem from Todd Angeli.
Poster, please welcome Todd Angeli. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Todd Angeli with the national anthem as we get set for the Bruins and Ducks. We'll take a look at our starting lineups here tonight. In goal for Anaheim is John Gibson. On defense, the pairing of Jackson Lacombe and Radko Gudas. And up front, it's Frank Vetrano, Ryan Strome, and Troy Terry. For the Bruins, they'll start Jeremy Swayman in goal, Michael Callahan, Brandon Carlo, your defenseman, and up front, Brad Marchand, Elias Lindholm, and Charlie Coyle. Starting lineups are brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SportsHub. That's code SportsHub for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
First 5 minutes of tonight's game presented by your New England Ford dealers. Tonight's New England Ford dealers' first five contestant of the game is Nancy Asselin of West Yarmouth, Mass. If the Bruins score in the first 5 minutes, Nancy wins a pair of tickets to a future Bruins game courtesy of the New England Ford dealers. Enter the contest at 985thesportshub.com. Bruins in the home black sweaters, black helmets, black pants. The Ducks in the white sweaters with orange numbers and orange pants as Boston goes from left to right here in the first period. They get it deep right off the bat here with Coyle going into the far corner. He'll play it back toward the point. Callahan sweeps it back in behind the net. Marchand is there and brings it toward the near side circle. Deals it back to Carlo at the right point. He shoots it intentionally wide of the net, trying to get it behind the net to Elias Lindholm, but turned over instead, and the Ducks will start out of their zone. Pass comes to the left side. Here's Lacombe in across the Boston line. Tried to spin it deep, and it took a hop out of the corner. Played by Carlo to Coyle, and now Callahan will carry out of the Boston zone, and from center ice dumps it into the Anaheim end. Morgan Geekie gets in after it. Pasternak tried to backhand it free. It was taken away. And the Ducks come back the other way with Leo Carlsson carrying into the Boston zone. His shot attempt blocked by Pete. Taken around the far boards for Geekie. Misplayed, couldn't get out of the zone. It'll come across the near side for Brian Dumoulin down the left circle with a shot. Glove stop by Jeremy Swayman, and he hangs on.
Yeah, you know, you're talking about before the game starts, there's some games earlier today and some of the things that kind of went on. There was a couple blowouts. At least 2 goaltenders getting pulled today, and one of them was Igor Shesterkin for the New York Rangers playing against Buffalo. Nedeljkovic being the other one in Pittsburgh. So, you know, how are guys going to come out? How are guys going to approach this segment here after 2 weeks off? I mean, I know that they've been practicing for a few days, but
giveaway behind the net and a chance for Fabry as he spun around that far post, but Swayman makes the save and hangs on to that one as well.
Fourth line here for the Bruins. You've got Tufte in this in the lineup right now, playing alongside Kaslik and Beecher on the fourth line.
Cole Koepke out of the lineup tonight, as is Oliver Wahlstrom. Jordan Osterley draws out as Mason Lohrei is good enough to go. Tufte called up during the break, playing in his 4th NHL game of the season. Here's a chance right in front off of the faceoff as Cutter Gauthier from between the circles is stoned by Swayman. Puck sent behind the net. Nikita Zadorov will bring it toward the near side circle. Angles one off the boards through neutral ice. Missed Beecher. And that'll be an icing call against the Bruins here with just about a minute and a half gone by in this first period. Not the start that you're looking for there.
No, there's been a couple really good chances against, and I had an over-under on when the first icing would occur. Less than a minute and a half into the game.
Off the face-off, a shot gets put up over Swayman's head, thrown back toward the net by Zellweger, hit the outside of the cage, and Bruins will get it cleared, but that'll be another icing. Start keeping tally here.
Well, look, you don't expect it to be the same pace that we just watched with the Four Nations. I mean, that's best on best. Right. And guys have been off, so you have to expect a little bit of rust. But who's going to be able to knock that rust off quickly enough? And
off the face-off, shot attempt from the point by Trouba gets blocked out of the zone. Trouba picked up from the Rangers back in December. Trade that sent Earl Vakanainen into New York. Puck comes off the near side boards, lifted in here by Vetrano, settled in the near circle by Parker Wotherspoon, sent it around behind the net, took a hop off the glass and off the back of the net. Pasternak will clear it ahead. Here's Zacha fighting his way into the attack zone, but Vetrano able to hold him off.
Yeah, that's a good back check by Frank Vetrano there, keeping his body in between Zacha and the puck.
Zellweger dumps it in, takes a hit from Pasternak. Swayman played it away from his crease. Wotherspoon got it up the right side. Pasternak finds Lohrei cutting through the neutral zone and dumps into the right wing corner. Around to the far side it comes. And Geekie in there battling against Radko Gudas. Chopped up toward the blue line by Leeson and pushed ahead. Wotherspoon skates back to retrieve. Circles behind his net. Gives to Lohrei. Pass comes to the near side for Pasternak, who wanders a little deeper into his own zone. Now looking up ice with a long pass up the right side. Wotherspoon will redirect that deep. John Gibson goes behind the net to play it here for the Ducks. And back around behind by Zegras. Brazo putting pressure on Gudas in the far corner, able to win the puck from him. Gudas rides him to the boards, and now Patra in there deep against Carlson. Carlson able to tap the puck away from him. Killorn will bring up the right wing side, finds Carlson down the middle, now off to the left side. Zegras with a drop pass for Lacombe and a one-timer turned away by Swayman.
Yeah, good look by Zegras there. That ended up being a 4-on-3 with Lacombe jumping up into the play to get that shot away. Swayman's had to be sharp here, nearly going.
Just about 3.5 minutes gone in this first period. Anaheim's got the first 4 shots on goal.
At least 3 of them dangerous.
Puck behind the net in the Anaheim zone with Dumoulin. Former BC Eagle, won a couple of national championships in Chestnut Hill. Puck stolen at the blue line here. It's Elias Lindholm handing one off to Marchand, but got caught up in traffic. McTavish will circle it around behind the net. Outlet pass finds Fabry coming through the neutral zone and bumped loose away from Gauthier.
Well, Peak was looking for the hit right in the middle of the ice that time.
Brad Marchand in front of the Bruins bench finds Charlie Coyle. He'll play it down the left wing wall. Elias Lindholm gets in after Dumoulin. Puck comes around the near side boards and will be carried out of the zone here by Gauthier. And across the ice, Lohrei will take it there. They work it to Wotherspoon inside the Boston zone. Now Lohrei with a pass right side, tapped ahead by Beecher. Kastelik races to it right side, throws it in front, tipped by Trouba coming through the top of the crease. Goes around behind the net. Lohrei a stuffer at the near post, and Gibson holds his ground and covers.
Yeah, he had a little breakdown in coverage that time. Good aggressive play there by Lohrei. Zellweger, he was just kind of playing man on man. That allowed Lohrei to come right around on the forehand for that wraparound chance, and Gibson with the left pad down on the short side post.
Well, we got 4.5 gone by here in this first period, and a face-off in the offensive zone here for the Bruins. Zacha, Geekie, and Pasternak up front here, along with Wotherspoon and Lohrei. Geekie won the draw. Wotherspoon to Zacha, right circle. Pass intended for Pasternak, didn't connect. And the Ducks quickly able to clear it out. Lohrei regains near the Boston blue line. Spun away from it, got it right back. Pushed it up the wall to Pasternak. He'll backhand it in. Gibson thought about playing it, left it going into the corner for Zellweger. Terry played it across ice off of Karam. Trouba just bats it out of the zone. Now it'll be brought ahead. Zellweger to the left wing circle with a shot. Saved by Swayman. No rebound. Gets the whistle. 5:03 gone in this first period.
You know, talking to Joe Sacco just about how they want to. We said, what tweaks are you making? Because he talked about tweaks to their game and what they're looking to work on. And his whole thing was really putting an emphasis on checking up the ice. So in other words, instead of defending in your own zone, you want to be able to check up the ice and, you know, create some turnovers that way. And that starts with a forecheck. That starts with where you dump pucks in. It, you know, if you're stuck in your own zone for a prolonged period of time, you're not going to be able to establish that forecheck. So he talked about defending, but he talked about defending in different parts of the ice as opposed to just in your own zone.
Face-off win here by the Bruins. Carlo played it across the ice. It gets out of the zone, but Gudas will take it there. Pumped it back for Lacombe. Ducks start their way forward. Up the right side comes Carlson in across the Boston line. Took a hit from Lindholm. Puck wrapped around the far side. Gudas throws one in front. Bounced off of Swayman. Bruins able to clear it around the near side, but not out.
That was a good tip
down
by
into the
Cologne.
corner. Lindholm racing to a puck along the far side wall. Tapped it free. Carlo will get it from Callahan. Starts up the right side. And out of room coming through neutral ice, but Coyle finds Marchand on the right side. Goes it down the wall. Patra, I think he hit a rut in the ice. Lost his balance. Marchand, big collision with Carlson as both guys go down, but it's like Marchand got the better of that one. Coyle will carry it across the Anaheim line, but pass off to the right is picked off by Lacombe. Ducks settle in behind their net here with Gudas. Played it off toward that right side, and we'll get it right back from Dumoulin. Now Gudas angles one off the near boards. Batted ahead by Lundestrom, but thrown back in toward the Anaheim zone. Gibson will come out of the net and play it this time. Dumoulin out of the near corner. Into the neutral ice. Johnston for Lundestrom. Throws a long shot in on Swayman. Takes it right in the chest. Hangs on. Gets a whistle. We've got 13:32 left here in the first period. No score at TD Garden. Here on the 98.5, the Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V. It's your local Honda dealer.
With Cox Mobile, you're covered coast to coast, so you can call your friends anytime on that road trip from New York City to LA, even in, Franklin, Illinois.
Huh, what if I call from Franklin, Georgia?
Yep, covered.
Ooh, Franklin, Texas?
Uh-huh.
Franklin, Kansas, Missouri, Virginia, Nebraska,
All
Connecticut.
covered. Cox Mobile runs on the network with more nationwide coverage than T-Mobile and has call quality you can rely on. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. Cox Internet required. Comparison based on percentage of area covered by T-Mobile as compared to Cox Mobile from FCC National Broadband Map of US as of 12/31/23. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
Hi, this is Bob Sosi, voice of New England football. You've heard me talk about ClearPath for veterans and safety insurance. Now Now New Hampshire residents can also support our veterans and save on auto insurance. ClearPath for Veterans is working with Safety Insurance to help New England veterans at the resource centers in Devens, Massachusetts and Manchester, New Hampshire. Safety policyholders can make a $50 tax-deductible donation to ClearPath and earn a 5% discount on your safety automobile insurance. New Hampshire and Massachusetts residents can say thanks to those who serve and get rewarded. Visit safetyforvets.com.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. Visit your New England Chevy dealers.
Listen live. Check out our podcast with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
The first 5 minutes of tonight's game were brought to you by your New England Ford dealers. Start your 2025 in a new F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 48 straight years. Just about 6.5 minutes gone in this first period. No score, and in between the break here, the Bruins with a celebratory message for Brad Marchand, part of the Four Nations Face-Off Cup-winning Team Canada here on Thursday night. With a nice round of applause from what would be a mostly American crowd here tonight.
It was a really good event. Well done. I know that they're going to try to add more teams the next time they do it. And of course, you got the Olympics next year, but it lived up to its hype in terms of especially the championship game and the way that game was played and the way it unfolded. Two really good teams.
Talk more about that coming up during our first intermission tonight. As Dumoulin back in his own zone here for the Ducks. Plays one up the right side. Fabry got it across, and a chance for McTavish from the right, or from the left circle rather, as Swayman tips that shot up and out of play.
Yeah, Anaheim's been the better team here to start this one. They've been a little bit sharper in their execution. They had a couple real good chances early. It's been mostly from the outside here over the last couple of shots that they have, but they're out shooting the Bruins 8-1 so far to start this first period.
Jeremy Swayman's been sharp in the early going.
Yeah, I didn't see any action.
Didn't see any action at all.
Backed up one of the games.
Yeah. Talked to him yesterday after having been part of Team USA, but just watching, and he said a little bit of extra motivation for the future. Wants to be the best American goaltender, wants to be the guy gets called on in those situations, and obviously with guys like Hellebuck and Ottinger, it's a big competition for goaltender spots here going forward for Team USA.
Yeah, I mean, Hellebuck's regarded as maybe the best goaltender in the world. He's still going to have that tag with him that he can't win that big game. Maybe that changes this year in the playoffs.
Winnipeg's going to be an interesting team to watch in the postseason. As just outside the Anaheim zone, Lohrei took a hit. Ducks will control the puck here. Up the right side, Strome played one in toward Swayman. He sweeps it away. Wotherspoon deals to Elias Lindholm. Circles back behind the Bruins net. 12.5 minutes left in this first period. Here's Lindholm with a pass from Wotherspoon up the right side. Long shot, easily steered aside by Gibson. Geekie along the far wall, able to bat it free, but the Ducks will control and come out of their zone. Zellweger a dump in, goes around off the back of Swayman's net. Zadorov will play it up the the left side rather, and here's Pasternak trying to hand off the blue line to Geekie, over to Zacha, right wing circle, backing away from the net. Got it back to Peak, threw one in front, came across for Pasternak off a feed from Geekie, and he misfired on a one-timer attempt. Back across toward the near circle, and Peak will get it back to Zadorov at the blue line. Now on to Zacha, to the bottom of the near circle, pivots back toward the corner. Zacha deals across. Here's Zadorov. High slot to Geekie in front. Tipped on goal. Gibson made the save. Geekie dragged the rebound in behind the net. Judas played it off the far boards. Zadorov keeps in. Walks it along the blue line. Backhands a floater toward the slot. Zacha got it in front to Geekie, point blank. And it went up and over the net. Not sure if Gibson got a piece of it or not?
Wow. I mean, that Anaheim just really leaky on that shift. The Bruins with a couple great opportunities. Would have liked to have seen Zacha take the shot when he had an opportunity to do so, but I mean, Geekie to Pastrnak, they just misconnect, and then Geekie had two great chances alone, wide open in front.
Ducks with possession near their own blue line. Pass up the right side. Carried into the Boston zone, and a pass into the middle. Knocked away from McTavish. Center of the blue line. Ellison got it off to that far side. Puck gets shot wide of the net. Rolled around in behind the Bruins net. Back to Dumoulin at the right point. Over to the near side. Hellison one-timed it wide. Gauthier on the far wall. Displayed. Trent Frederick will take it out of the zone and play it down the left wing boards. Justin Brazeau will get in after it against Hellison along the end wall. Came free to Frederick in the left corner. Gets it back to Lohrei at the point. Lohrei onto the near side for Wotherspoon. A shot. Blocker saved by Gibson. Comes in behind the net. Hellison there for Anaheim, but now pressured by Frederick and Brazeau. Nearly turned it over along the near side boards. McTavish gets hemmed in. And Wotherspoon takes it from the blue line, walks it toward the high slot, moving toward the left circle, got the shot, and it goes up off glass. Ricochets back down toward the Bruins zone, and racing on was Riley Tufte coming on from the bench to come back and retrieve that puck.
Good fake shot there by Wotherspoon, holds on to it, goes to his forehand, moving into the left wing circle for that chance.
Tufte, nice move to get into the Anaheim zone, centering pass looking for Kastelik, but he was engaged in front. Tufte going in behind the net and spun off it against Zellweger. Played up the right side here by the Ducks, but held up at the Boston blue line and bouncing over the stick of Carlo. Callahan along the near boards, couldn't get it through Johnston. Zellweger out near the blue line to hold in. Now Johnston will shoot it around behind the net. Swayman handed off back there to Carlo. Callahan up the right side, tipped ahead, and it'll roll into the Anaheim zone. Lacombe saw Kastelik come crashing in towards him. Kastelik with a steal in front for Marchand, and Gibson just got a piece of that. Lindholm tried to center it back for Marchand, but that one cut off.
Boy, the Bruins have had 3 point-blank chances, and Anaheim just leaky on that back end right now.
Lacombe a long shot, long rebound off of Swayman's pads. Elias Lindholm will start them up ice. Here's Zadorov from the red line to dump it in. Zadorov playing in his 700th career NHL game tonight. Coyle looking to center. That was blocked. He'll get it back along the near side hash marks. Sends it softly down the wall. Marchand out of the right corner. 8:40 to go here in the first. No score. Wotherspoon gives to Marchand. Back toward the blue line. Gives over to Wotherspoon with a shot. Tipped in front. Lohrei was right down in front of the crease there. Off the near board, Strome waited for Lacombe, and he'll drag Anaheim out into neutral ice and backhand it in from the red line as both teams will get changes done. Wotherspoon from the near circle, the Bruins zone. Over to Lohrei, skates it up to the red line. Cross corner dump into the near side. Dumoulin wrapped it back around the far side. Geekie to Pastrnak in the left wing corner. Sets up a one-timer for Zacha. That got blocked by Dumoulin. And the Ducks head the other way. Zegras will sweep it into the Boston zone. Carlson getting in on the forecheck. Zadorov out of the near corner, lifts it off the glass and out into neutral ice. Batted down by Dumoulin. Peak and Zadorov back inside the Boston zone with possession. Peak dumps it in from just shy of the red line. They're going to call it an icing.
Well, yeah. Time and space there to get to the red line. They didn't give him much of a cushion. I thought it might have been offside on that far side, but no, it's going to be icing coming all the way back.
It's one of those that sometimes you get the benefit of the doubt, sometimes you don't.
Yeah. Referee having a conversation with Joe Sacco over by the bench right now about just that, I would assume.
A face-off in the defensive zone here with 7:36 to play in a scoreless first period. Face-off win by Geekie back toward the corner.
That conversation goes something like, you make sure you call it as close to them as when they have the puck at the red line that you just called that one.
Swayman makes an easy save there and gets us to a timeout with 7.5 to go in the first. No score, Bruins and Ducks here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
With Cox Mobile, you're covered coast to coast, so you can call your friends anytime on that road trip from New York City to LA, even in, Franklin, Illinois.
Huh, what if I call from Franklin, Georgia?
Yep, covered.
Ooh, Franklin, Texas?
Uh-huh.
Franklin, Kansas, Missouri, Virginia, Nebraska,
All
Connecticut.
covered. Cox Mobile runs on the network with more nationwide coverage than T-Mobile and has call quality you can rely on. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. Cox Internet required. Comparison based on percentage of area covered by T-Mobile as compared to Cox Mobile from FCC National Broadband Map of US as of 12/31/23. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techy.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. Visit your New England Chevy dealers.
Hey, it's Zoe, and Oakers Technologies has a long history of helping businesses stay future ready as their single source IT partner, providing everything from full IT infrastructure to everyday AV needs. And they're hyper-focused on managed IT services that feel easy and simple from a single point of contact. Their ProCare support team are the people behind the technology that make sure that you have a custom approach to the support and resources you need to keep your business future ready with Oakers Technologies, proud partner of your New England Patriots.
The home of the Revs, the Sports Hub.
Fans, the Boston Bruins are bringing you the best snow day ever. Tune in on Tuesday, March 11th as the Bruins and the Panthers on-ice action is transformed into animation using NHL Edge data. Watch the same action happening on the ice, but in a whole new way for a one-of-a-kind game day viewing experience. Learn more at bostonbruins.com/best snow day ever. 7.5 minutes to go here in the first period. No score between the Bruins and the Anaheim Ducks. First of the two meetings this year between these two teams. They will wrap up the season series in Anaheim as part of the Bruins West Coast trip on March the 26th. Face off to the right of Jeremy Swayman here. It'll be Kastelik against Mason McTavish. Now McTavish is kicked out of the circle. Fabry stands in there instead. Face-off win by Kastelik. Backhanded behind the net by Carlo. Taken by Callahan. He'll work his way out into neutral ice and dump it in from the red line. Around it comes to the near side. Beecher in the corner battling with Gauthier. Came back toward the point. Carlo poked it to keep it alive. Kastelik played it back toward the circle, but Zellweger right there. Gave it toward the near side. And Trouba gives back to Zellweger. Up the right side comes Gauthier. Gauthier carries into the Boston zone, and Carlo blocks his shot attempt up into the netting, out of play.
Well, Between the Pipes is sponsored by Charles D. Sheehy. If you're in the piping trades, you need to call Charles D. Sheehy, Boston's premier piping and mechanical product supplier. CDS is your local leader. Between the Pipes here for Anaheim. Both goaltenders have been sharp here early on. Is John Gibson. And for the Bruins, it's Jeremy Swayman.
This is John Gibson's 501st career game between the Pipes. 31-year-old is 9-9-2 in 22 starts this season, 2.69 goals against.
It's been the subject of some trade rumors, huh? Last year and this year.
Puck gets knocked away from Terry. Marchand going to work his way up the right wing side. Centering pass to Lindholm coming across the line, but that was disrupted. And the Ducks head back the other way. McComb throws a long one in on goal. Stick save made by Swayman. Out of the corner, sent back to Gudas at the right point. Takes a shot, blocked by Marchand. He's got the puck on his stick. Carries it into neutral ice. Bringing toward the near right wing side. He'll play it softly down the wall. The rest of his line mates are changing. In the near corner, Marchand able to get in there and keep that puck tangled up as help arrives. But the Ducks will clear it away. Carlson works his way back through the neutral ice. Stops just inside the Boston line. Heels a pass toward the near circle, but finds only Parker Wotherspoon, and Patra will push it back out of the zone. Carlson, though, takes right back from there. And the Ducks come right back in. Frederick blocks a centering pass, tried to feather one ahead for Brazo. He taps it ahead, and Patra down the left wing circle. Deals it back to Frederick. Frederick coming toward the far corner. Gets that puck under control. Back to Lohrei at the point. Shoots one off the back glass and around the near side. Brazo and Frederick both in after it along the near circle. Now Lori down into that far corner to keep that puck in deep. Lori brings it right along the goal line with a wide-angle shot. Save made by Gibson. Ducks will clear it. Bouncing, rolling puck will make it just far enough for an icing.
Weatherspoon just couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, it's the end of the shift. You know, the legs are a little heavy.
Yeah. We say so. Well, Greg Cronin's not happy about it, but Bruins out an icing go against them there earlier.
Maybe that conversation worked.
Yeah. Lori's been active, right? He had that chance here just from coming off the goal line. Good active pinch down the left wing boards. There was a question mark whether he would play here today. He had the wraparound chance earlier in the period.
Gorov down into the left wing corner for Pasternak. Got bumped down to a knee. Dumoulin backhanded off to the far side, and Killorn will get it out.
Wholesale changes for Anaheim.
Puck off the near side wall in the neutral zone. Pasternak near the red line. They'll send it down the wall. In behind the net. Trouba brings it around toward the near side. Goes back for Zellweger. Into the neutral ice. Tapped ahead by Ross Johnston, but turned over. Pasternak played it near the Boston blue line. Peak had to knock one loose as it nearly got stolen. And now dealing with Johnston just inside the blue line here. Zaka comes in to try to help out as well. And the puck will trickle out across the line. Zellweger over to that far side. Trouba from the red line dumps it in. Slowed up by Swayman. Peak reverses it around toward the far side. Zaka able to find a little space. Send it across ice with nobody home. Zellweger tapped it to Johnston. And back into the zone they come. Zellweger's pass all the way across. Just out of Kastelik's reach. And a shot from the right circle by Fabry. Sticked out of play by Swayman. And we'll take a stoppage in play here with 4:12 to go in the first period. No score between the Bruins and the Ducks. On the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
yes, goal,
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. Visit your New England Chevy dealers.
Hey, it's Zoe, and Oakers Technologies has a long history of helping businesses stay future ready as their single source IT partner, providing everything from full IT infrastructure to everyday AV needs. And they're hyper-focused on managed IT services that feel easy and simple from a single point of contact. Their ProCare support team are the people behind the technology that make sure that you have a custom approach to the support and resources you need to keep your business future ready with Oakers Technologies, proud partner of your New England Patriots.
The only place to hear the game, the Sports Hub.
4:12 left here in the first period. No score between the Bruins and the Anaheim Ducks. You were mentioning, Beersy, some of the trade rumors around John Gibson. We're going to hear a lot here over the next couple of weeks. We did the hockey show this morning on our flagship station, and it's a lot of discussion about trade deadline and decisions that are going to need to be made here in the next couple of weeks by a lot of teams around the league, including the Bruins.
Yeah, the Bruins are one of those teams on the fence, right? I mean, you could have a good week and be right back in the playoff structure. You could have a bad week and fall, 5 points out of it. And so you got these 3 games at home before hitting the road, and for a busy month of March on the road. But the deadline is on, what's the exact date? The
Friday
5th?
the 7th.
7th, excuse me,
Yep.
yeah. So
2
the
weeks
Bruins
from
will be in
yesterday.
Carolina on the 6th, and then in Tampa on the 8th. We'll have a better idea then of where their decision lies. And they've always been a team that's at least since I've been around, and almost always have gone for it, right? Especially recent history.
It'll be interesting to hear. Don Sweeney's going to talk to the media tomorrow after practice, so it should be interesting to hear what he has to say about that and a few other things.
Bruins get called for icing here. Yeah, I mean, Hampus Lindholm hasn't skated the last couple days. A little surprised at that. Hoping for an update there. You know, McAvoy's injury during the Four Nations.
Faceoff will be in the defensive zone here with 3:28 to go in this first period. Elias Lindholm will take the draw and wins it. Back toward the end wall, but it's taken away. Brought around toward the near side and back to Dumoulin at the left point. On to the far side and a long shot. Gloved by Swayman. Hangs on, gets another whistle. 14 saves for him here in this first period.
Yeah, a couple early were tough ones. Since then, maybe that one stick save or the blocker save that he made from the right wing circle, but most of it's been from the outside. But there were a couple testers early.
Zadorov off the face-off win by Lindholm, able to clear it, neutral ice. Coyle trying to shove Hellison back into the Ducks zone. Puck will come behind the net. Gibson watches. Hellison deals it toward the near side and lifted out by Dumoulin, who takes a hit. A wrestling match going on here. Strome and Lindholm. And now Pete comes over to get involved, and everyone's going to gather in here. They all pair off, but
it's the first time we've seen any of this so far in this game. 17 minutes in, there haven't been much. A couple of hits here and there, but that time Lindholm and Strome get involved in Anaheim's zone. See how the referees call this one. I didn't see what started it, but
the penalty box doors do swing open here, and Strome and Lindholm shepherded into their respective boxes.
Boston 28, well, 2 minutes for roughing.
Roughing minors each. Strome did get one glove off in the middle of that scrum there, but chatter back and forth between the two as they will watch for the next couple of minutes. So with 2:59 to go in the first, no score, 4-on-4 here. As the Bruins control the puck, Wotherspoon going to skate it up toward the red line. Heels over to Zacha. Now to a cutting Pasternak coming through the center circle. Carries across the Anaheim line and tried to drag it around Zellweger. But lost possession. Zegras brings the Ducks back the other way with numbers. Zegras back and forth, and they score. Got it over to Lacombe, who tapped it right back to Zegras, who deposits it into the net, and it's 1-0 Anaheim.
Yeah, this is a tough read here in the sense that wrong decision. Lorai's going to step up in the neutral zone, and it's going to lead to this 2-on-1 and a perfectly executed 2-on-1. When you step up in that neutral zone, so good play defensively. They're going to move this puck up the ice, and Lorai comes across for a hit, and it's going to open up a 2-on-1 and a nice give and go with Zegras finishing it off from the left wing side. Left wing circle over to the right wing circle, one touch pass back, and he's going to beat Swayman to the short side before Swayman can move to his right. But it's the read in the neutral zone that causes the 2-on-1. You can't step up there if you don't have that support.
It's the 7th of the season for Zegras, who missed 22 games after surgery to repair a torn meniscus. Coyle inside the Anaheim zone.
When you get a guy like him, that
McTavish back the other way, pass across, and it bounded away from the intended receiver, Terry.
I mean, that's where Zegras is going to be at his best, right?
Coyle sweeps it around behind the Anaheim net. Chased along the near side by Zadorov. Tapped off the wall by Marchand. Coyle gives over to Carlo. Down the left wing circle he goes. With a minute 50 to go in the period. Marchand backhanded one toward the slot, but taken away there by McTavish. 45 seconds left on the 4-on-4. Ducks in control, moving from right to left. Better Gauthier going to carry across the Boston line. Shot was blocked wide by Carlo. Comes off the end wall, and it's covered up by Swayman for the whistle. Officials get called over to the penalty box. But Lindholm needs a helmet adjustment, apparently.
You know, it gave Lori credit there earlier in the period for a couple good chances offensively, but he'd like to have that one back. You know, just play it like the 3-on-2, and you stay back in your position there. He came all the way across the ice, and I think it was Carlson he tried to finish the hit on, and it leads to the 2-on-1.
He beats Carlson on a faceoff in the Bruins zone. Around the far side, and it's Patra. Under pressure, forced back toward the corner. Puck will come behind the Bruins net. Tap toward the near side, and Wotherspoon with a good check to separate Trouba from the puck. Brought through neutral ice. Thrown toward the side of the net and wrapped around the near side. It'll be Zegras to carry out of the Anaheim zone. 5 seconds before each team gets a man back. Wotherspoon circles behind Swayman. Pass off to the near side for Patra. And Holm and Strome come out to join the play. Terry backs a puck up into the Anaheim zone. Gets it right back. Terry going to carry through the neutral ice and across the Boston line. Leaves it right at the blue line. They work it to Lacombe, over to Gudas. Fired one in front, redirected in by Vetrano. Frank Vetrano makes it 2-0 Anaheim with 38 seconds left here in the first.
This is basically a 1-against-5 with Terry coming over the blue line. The Bruins are all back in position here. And now Anaheim's going to get possession of this puck. They go D to D, and a nice look from Gudas from that right point. Finds a wide open Frank Vetrano on the backdoor tip. But it's coming over the blue line. I believe that was Terry who had the puck coming over the blue line, and the Bruins were all there, but he's allowed to operate, get into the zone, and make a play, and nobody's able to separate him from the puck.
That's the 17th of the year for the former Bruin Vetrano. We got a
leading goal scorer, right, on this team?
Yeah.
17.
Got himself a nice contract extension earlier this season. Here's a giveaway, and McTavish hit the post.
Wide open in front.
McTavish has the puck with 20 to go in the period. Things are spiraling here. Bruins got to get to the intermissions. Frederick pass deflected across the ice with 11 seconds left. Peak will get it out of the zone. And it's backhanded deep by Zacha. Gudas will eat the puck back in his own zone and get it to the horn. And Anaheim with 2 goals late in the period to take a 2-0 lead. Trevor Zegras on a 2-on-1, and then Vetrano inside of the final minute. And it's the Ducks up by a pair. We'll be back with our first intermission from TD Garden coming up on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home, yes, cool, or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. Visit your New England Chevy dealers.
My brother-in-law died suddenly. Now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. After that, I told my wife we couldn't put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with a Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Dreaming of hydrated skin amidst these dry winter months? Dime offers clean, master esthetician crafted skincare products that deeply nourish, protect, and hydrate. Their formulas, made with clean ingredients, lock in moisture for skin that stays soft, smooth, and radiant all season long. Hydration starts with Dime's best-selling hyaluronic acid serum, delivering deep moisture where your skin craves it most. This lightweight, fast-absorbing serum helps quench dryness, plump skin, and boost elasticity from the inside out. Once your skin is prepped with the serum, seal in all that hydration with their Dewy Day Cream, a rich, luxurious moisturizer designed to provide all-day softness and lasting glow. Together, this powerful duo keeps your skin smooth, supple, and luminous, even in the harshest weather. Shop the duo now at dimebeautyco.com. That's dimebeautyco.com and get the hydrated skin of your dreams.
Felger and Naz, afternoons 2 to 6 on the Sports Hub.
Wins it for Canada. And Jordan Binnington has done it again inside the TD Garden.
It's hard to describe. I mean, these moments are so few and far between. The amount of work that goes into something like this, like it doesn't start this year. It didn't start last year. Like it started, 36 years ago. And you don't ever expect to get to a level like this. You really don't ever dream to get to a level like this. You dream of playing in the NHL, and this is the 1% of the 1%. And when you get out on the ice with this group and you're playing for your country and you have that opportunity, those are the things that not only you remember forever, but your family remembers forever, and the entire country remembers forever. And, this game, this tournament's going to be talked about for a long time.
Brad Marchand, Bruins captain, talking about the victory for Team Canada in the Four Nations Face-Off Tournament here on Thursday night, back here at TD Garden, where the Bruins trail Anaheim 2-0 after one, alongside Bob Beers. I'm Ryan Johnston. If there was any doubt in people's minds about how serious the players were taking that tournament, they were erased very quickly, and it was a terrific event.
Yeah, I mean, the things that are getting really hyped up, and rightfully so, the fights in 9 seconds, the 3 fights in 9 seconds, but the intensity level was up, and that's, Canada, USA, it's real. You can say the same thing for the Finns and Swedes when they play against one another. It's real. You do not want to lose. There's a lot of pride there on the line. Congratulations to Canada. It was a terrific game. I like the fact that we talked about it this morning. I like the fact that, it wasn't decided by the referees. There are a couple things you might be able to look at and say maybe that could have been called, maybe it couldn't have. But I thought it was a well-officiated game. I thought that they called the one penalty that they had to call. And they let the players decide it, and it was best on best, really. You can debate a few guys who are on the teams, and maybe a couple guys that had really good tournaments, a couple guys that didn't have good tournaments, and it'll be interesting to see where they go next year when the Olympics come around, and they have to select these teams. You're selecting a team. I found it interesting. Some of the, I'm going to call them role players, but players that accepted a role on the team. You check your ego at the door. You're going to play this role. Brad Marchand was one of them. He's counted on here as an offensive player for the Bruins in all situations. He was playing 12, 13 minutes a game. And he was effective when he was out there. And that's a guy that accepted his role, whatever it may be, and made sure he brought the energy and the passion every time he was on the ice. And he wasn't alone. There was a number of guys like that. And like I said, I think that there were a couple guys that maybe hurt themselves for next year. Just they weren't quite as good as they should have been or could have been in the tournament. But that's going to happen in any tournament. It's short. Sweden doesn't lose a game in regulation. They don't make the final.
Right.
So it's an interesting the way it kind of all unfolded. But the two best teams in my estimation were there. Now you got to deal with some of the the ramifications from it. And Charlie McAvoy's a big one. There's other guys around the league, I think, that are a little banged up as well. But McAvoy certainly affects the Bruins, and they're standing right now in the standings and where they are in the season here.
Yeah, I mean, Vegas is going to be without Shea Theodore for a while, guys like that. And, that's as you said, it's the fallout that you have to deal with when you have a tournament like that. I mean, it's great for the sport. It's great for the league. And, we're already, I think a lot of us looking forward to the Olympics next year and the World Cup, in years to come after that. But that's the risk that you run, is that some guys are going to get hurt in these tournaments. It's inevitable.
Yeah, and it sounds like they're going to keep it in February. We were talking this morning, I said that there's been some great World Cups, and they didn't always call it the World Cup. They call it the Canada Cup. They call it different things over the years. But the 96 World Cup in Canada, U.S., best of 3 to finish it off. So it wasn't just a one game, win, lose, go home. It's best of 3 and some terrific hockey and some genuine hatred. And it led to some passionate games and some exciting games by the best on best there, and in that specific tournament, Canada and the U.S. And I think we saw some of that, over the last couple of weeks here.
Well, as you said, I mean, the rivalry between Canada and the United States is a real thing. They hadn't had a chance to do it in a while, but it was there.
World Juniors, they still do it, right? And the U.S. has had some good success, and they've really closed the gap, or if not gone ahead in certain areas from Canada. And when Canada doesn't medal in some of those World Junior, it's a major issue up in Canada. And the U.S. to go on to win a couple of gold medals like they have, it's really kind of that closed the gap and has made it that much more powerful.
So just some thoughts on this week's Four Nations tournament. Bruins trailing the Anaheim Ducks 2-0 at the end of one. Trevor Zegras with his 7th goal of the year. Frank Vetrano with his 17th of the season, both coming in the last 2 minutes and 33 seconds of that first period. We'll step aside here. We'll come back and take a look at the scores from around the NHL next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
yes, cool,
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. Visit your New England Chevy dealers.
Life can change in an instant. My brother-in-law died suddenly, leaving behind my sister and her 2 young kids. He didn't have life insurance, so now they're facing the unthinkable, leaving their home. After seeing what they went through, I immediately called SelectQuote to get life insurance for my family. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent compared policies from highly rated carriers to find me the right coverage in my budget. I got a $500,000 policy for only $16 a month. Plus, I qualified for same-day life insurance. No medical exam was required, and I was covered by the time I hung up. Even if you have a health concern, SelectQuote agents can find you the right policy at the lowest price. And while you can't prepare emotionally for a loss, SelectQuote can give you peace of mind with life insurance. Don't wait until it's too late.
Go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Ready to prioritize yourself in the new year? Your skin is a great place to start. Dime Beauty, founded by a master esthetician, is more than just a skincare company. With 4 skin-conscious categories, skincare, beauty, body care, and fragrance, Dime offers simple, spa-worthy products that will help you enter 2025 with confidence. Whether you're revitalizing your regimen with nourishing products or building one from scratch, Dime makes it easy. The Work System, our all-in-one best-selling routine, includes a cleanser of your choice, toner, serums, and moisturizers, taking the guesswork out of skincare for your healthiest, happiest skin yet. Dime's commitment to clean ingredients and sustainable packaging ensures every product is as gentle on your skin as it is on the planet. With thousands of glowing 5-star reviews and a loyal community, the results speak for themselves. Revive your skin and give yourself the routine refresh you deserve by visiting dimebeautyco.com. That's dimebeautyco.com. Your best skin awaits.
The home of the bees, the Sports Hub.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification across the 98.5, the Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. WBZ-FM at HD Boston, 98.5, the Sports Hub. Station.
2-0 Anaheim leading the Bruins after one here at TD Garden. Let's take a look at the other action around the NHL. Some finals in from earlier today. The Detroit Red Wings blew a 2-goal lead in the final 7 minutes. Lost in overtime to the Minnesota Wild today, 4-3 the final. Flyers had a 6-3 win at home today over the Edmonton Oilers. Washington Capitals, an 8-3 win this afternoon in Pittsburgh. Buffalo Sabres have a 7-2 lead over the Rangers in the third period. Igor Shesterkin removed in that one after giving up 5 first-period goals for New York. End of 2 down in Florida. The Panthers and the Kraken are even at a goal apiece. They're headed into the third period in New Jersey with the Devils trailing the Dallas Stars by a 2-0 count. Colorado and Nashville are tied at 1 as they get the third period underway. Some of the night games, the Toronto Maple Leafs with a 4-0 lead over Carolina after 1. Montreal leads Ottawa 3-2 after 1. And at the end of 1, it's Columbus with a 1-0 lead over Chicago. Winnipeg and St. Louis are tied at 1 after 1 as well. Bruins trailing Anaheim 2-0. We will have the second period coming up next from TD Garden on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Life can change in an instant. My brother-in-law died suddenly, leaving behind my sister and her 2 young kids. He didn't have life insurance, so now they're facing the unthinkable, leaving their home. After seeing what they went through, I immediately called SelectQuote to get life insurance for my family. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent compared policies from highly rated carriers to find me the right coverage in my budget. I got a $500,000 policy for only $16 a month. Plus, I qualified for same-day life insurance. No medical exam was required, and I was covered by the time I hung up. Even if you have a health concern, SelectQuote agents can find you the right policy at the lowest price. And while you can't prepare emotionally for a loss, SelectQuote can give you peace of mind with life insurance. Don't wait until it's too late.
Go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Hey, all you small business owners out there. Imagine what you could do with an extra hour every day. As the everything app for hourly teams, Homebase brings scheduling, time clocks, and payroll together in one place to simplify your workday. So let your time-saving fantasies run wild and join the 150,000 businesses already using Homebase. Celebrated by Forbes, the New York Times, and the Wall Street Journal, head to joinhomebase.com to get started today.
Geico's motorcycle expertise gives me the coverage I need, like 24/7 claims. I'm on cloud 9.
Disclaimer, clouds are wholly unable to support the weight of an adult human.
What's happening?
Furthermore, clouds are not numbered. Even if you procured a jetpack and searched, you'd find no cloud numbered 9. However, at that altitude, you'd likely befriend a flock of migrating snow geese.
Geese?
Who'd encourage you to leave your 24/7 Geico motorcycle claims insurance behind, as they would take you in and even share their dinner of crickets and clovers with you.
Ew.
Geico assumes no liability for any indigestion that may occur from a clover cricket dinner. Geico, expertise for your motorcycle.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Dreaming of hydrated skin amidst these dry winter months? Dime offers clean, master esthetician crafted skincare products that deeply nourish, protect, and hydrate. Their formulas, made with clean ingredients, lock in moisture for skin that stays soft, smooth, and radiant all season long. Hydration starts with Dime's best-selling hyaluronic acid serum, delivering deep moisture where your skin craves it most. This lightweight, fast-absorbing serum helps quench dryness, plump skin, and boost elasticity from the inside out. Once your skin is prepped with the serum, seal in all that hydration with their Dewy Day Cream, a rich, luxurious moisturizer designed to provide all-day softness and lasting glow. Together, this powerful duo keeps your skin smooth, supple, and luminous, even in the harshest weather. Shop the duo now at dimebeautyco.com. That's dimebeautyco.com and get the hydrated skin of your dreams.
Connect with Boston's home for sports online. 98.5thesportshub.com.
Zegras brings the Ducks back the other way with numbers. Zegras back and forth, and they score. Got it over to Lacombe, who tapped it right back to Zegras, who deposits it into the net, and it's 1-0 Anaheim. Trevor Zegras is 7th of the year from Lacombe and Leo Carlson at 17:27. That was followed up by Frank Vetrano's 17th of the season from Radko Gudas and Lacombe, who picks up his second assist of the night at 19:22. Anaheim has a 2-0 lead as we go to the second period. And fans, TD Bank card holders score special benefits here at TD Garden, from pro shop discounts and free tours to free popcorn and more. Learn more at the TD Garden website. TD Bank, bank of the Boston Celtics and Bruins.
Yeah, some bad breakdowns by the Bruins. I mean, the Bruins had a couple chances of their own, especially Geekie had a really good opportunity there in that first period, but just too many breakdowns. They gave up 2 quick goals late in that first period and almost another one when McTavish went off the post with it. So that's a mental kind of block that they've just got to get themselves out of. It's happened way too many times this year. And, I mean, both goals were they were defensive breakdowns by the Bruins on reads.
From our colleague Ty Anderson, 98.5thesportshub.com, 16th time this year the Bruins have surrendered a goal in the last minute of a period. As the puck sent off the back of the net here as the Ducks get set up on the attack down to our right. Ellison at the right point, challenged by Coyle, able to knock the puck free. Digging for it along the near wall, though. It'll come free to Hellison again. Coyle got a piece of it again. And Carlson able to deal it into the corner. Back to Hellison at the right point. Over to the far side. Thrown back in front as Swayman had some traffic in front of him. Marchand will get it back into the neutral zone and dump in hard on goal by Elias Lindholm. And Gibson tips that one up and over the netting, out of play.
Going back to that stat, a coach that he had a checklist of things that if you won the majority of them, when 80% of his checklist, you were most likely going to win the game. And it was special teams, it was unforced offsides or icings, things that put you back in your defensive zone. Certainly plus or even in the first and last minute of periods was one of the big ones. And if you won the majority of those, you're most likely going to come out on top. And there's just been way too many of those, whether you look at special teams or just like you said, or Ty Anderson had pointed out 16 times goals in the last minute of a period.
Here's Zacha down the left wing circle with a shot that tips up and over the net off Gibson.
Those are formulas that cost you games.
Pasternak directed one just across the Anaheim line, but steered right back out of there. Bruins moving right to left here in the second period. Zacha going to carry it back in. Goes off to Pasternak. Had to knock it down and then wrapped one from around behind the net. It came out to Callahan and his shot tipped up and over. Gibson without a stick as it got knocked off into the corner. Zacha has to battle his way through the fallen goaltender stick, and now Pasternak lifts it back to Callahan, center of the blue line, takes a shot. Gibson made the save. Rebound came over to the far circle, batted away from Wotherspoon and spun back in behind the net. And the Ducks will carry with Trouba sending a long pass across the ice that missed Troy Terry, and that'll be an icing here against Anaheim, but Gibson is able to collect his stick at least before the faceoff.
Yeah, the Bruins looking for some signs of life. We mentioned a couple opportunities they had in the first period, but that's Pasternak coming all the way around the net and gets this chance. He wasn't able to stuff it home on the forehand, and then the puck just eludes Zacha coming to the net. because he's got himself an open net if he can handle that.
Off the face-off, puck sent up the far wall. Glove down by Carlo, directed across the ice. Brazo will push it down into the left wing corner. Frederick to Patra at the back of the net. Steals it away from McTavish, back to Carlo with a point. His shot got blocked by Gauthier. Comes around behind. Frederick chasing it toward the near side circle. Zellweger able to push it a little bit out toward the blue line, but now the Ducks get it cleared, and Carlo will chase a rolling puck back, and that's going to go for another icing.
Yeah, you got a couple tired bodies out there. You had that block shot out high by Gauthier. He's trying to shake it off. It was Carlo taking the shot from the right point. You see Gauthier, he's kind of leaning over his knees right now. He took it off the foot or ankle or leg, and he's the one that ends up icing the puck. He's got to tell the linesman he's got to get off the ice, and if he was smart. He's going to hang in there. He's limping on that left leg right now. They would give him the change. Him alone. Right. They wouldn't let everybody else change, but for an injury.
Trevor Gauthier, drafted 5th overall by the Flyers, refused to sign in Philadelphia. Ended up getting traded back last January to the Ducks. The puck gets wrapped up the far side. Peak to keep it in. Here's Marchand. Works his way out toward the blue line. Deals it to Lori down the left wing circle. Goes around behind the net. Around to the far side. A centering pass for Coyle. And didn't get much on the shot. Gibson made the save, but Coyle got disrupted in front. Peak will chase a puck back deep into Boston territory off the clear. This one came up just shy of an icing.
That allows Anaheim to get a full wholesale change.
Marchand will drag it back into the neutral ice. Gets around Johnston. Steps in across the line. Coyle.
Gudis looked to hit Marchand. He's going to get a penalty here.
Marchand had given up the puck, gets tripped, and the Bruins will get their first power play of the game here.
It's a no argument from Gudis going to the box.
Radko Gudis up to 1,035 penalty minutes
he's
in
a
his
menace.
career.
He's a menace out there, and I say it as a compliment. He plays a rough, hard brand of game. He's strong, physical. As soon as Marchand dropped this puck off, the stick came in on Marchand. Really wasn't a big hit or anything, but no argument from Gudis. He goes to the box. He's the captain. They brought in a few veterans to, whether it's Dumoulin and Killorn and players like that who have Stanley Cups under the belt.
So the first power play brought to you by Bosch Tools, engineered for efficiency, comfort, and ease. Bosch Power Tools are built to keep workers going at full strength. Bosch Power Tools, what hard workers deserve. Off the face-off win. Lori with a shot, sticked away by Gibson. Patra in the left wing corner. We'll get it back to Lori at the near point. Gives over to Pasternak. Works his way to the top of the circle. To Geekie toward the slot. Knocked away from him, but kept alive, and Pasternak will wheel it back around. Patra off the near side boards. Plays it back off the wall to Lori. Over to Pasternak. Pasternak with a shot that skims just wide of the net. Lori kept it alive at the blue line again. Now Patra under pressure. Plays it toward the middle. It's picked off. And the Ducks will skate it forward here with Lundestrom into the Bruins zone. Knocked away by Lori. Mason going to carry it out toward his own blue line. Hands off for Pasternak coming through the neutral zone to Geekie just inside the Anaheim line. Walks it along the blue line. Gives it left circle to Pasternak. Back for Geekie off his skate. Gave it to Patra for the shot, and the glove stop by Gibson.
Yeah, Bruins in the middle of kind of a line change there. This morning, Lori didn't skate. He was playing with the top unit, or he would have been playing with the top unit this morning. They mix up him and Zadorov right now, but Pasternak's going to stay, I believe. Yeah, he started the power play. He'll stay, and they'll bring out Marchand and Lindholm and Zacha.
So Zadorov manning the right point as they get ready for this face-off. Off the draw, Zacha swept it back in his direction. Zadorov moves it along the blue line, gives it to Zacha, right back to Zadorov, center of the blue line. Pass through Lacombe off the far wall, turned over, and puck will be cleared all the way down ice by Helleson. Swayman tried to shoot it back ahead, and it was picked off coming through the neutral zone. Brett Leeson will dump it back into the Boston zone. 40 to go in the power play. Zadorov hands one ahead for Zacha. Carried in across the line by Marchand. Marchand working his way toward the right wing circle against Vetrano. Pulls up at the hash marks. Gives to Zadorov. To Pasternak at the top of the left circle. Pasternak taking a look around. Backhands one down the near circle for Lindholm. Gets it back to Pasternak. Looking to get it back to Lindholm. It was tipped. They'll get it to Zadorov again at the left point. His pass kicked out of the zone off of Killorn. 8 seconds to go on the power play. As Zaka coming out of the Bruins zone, Wotherspoon. Udis comes out of the penalty box and joins the play. Frederick off the dump in. Gets it to the back of the net, but gets sealed off it by Lacombe. Frederick battling his way toward the near circle, able to win it back. Brings it down toward the corner. Pivots back toward his backhand. Comes to the top of the faceoff circle. Now through the slot. Lundestrom able to hold him off. Shot angled up and wide of the net. Off the stick of Carlo. Beecher in the neutral zone. Played in the direction of Frederick but missed. And the Ducks have it. 6 minutes gone in this second period. Anaheim with a 2-0 lead. Here's Carlo to Wotherspoon inside the Boston zone. Pass redirected deep by Frederick. Gibson waits for it to get into the trapezoid. Plays it toward the near side boards. And it's dealt out into the neutral zone for Terry. From the red line to the Boston blue. Carries in across the line. Vetrano will sweep it down the right wing boards, but picked off by Lohrei, and he'll start the Bruins back. Lohrei coming through neutral ice. Skates in across the line. Down the left circle. A centering pass for Kastelik. Had it knocked just off his tape and off the side of the net by Vetrano. Tufte out near the blue line with a shot that got blocked. Vetrano able to help it out of his zone, but Andrew Peak there for the Bruins.
Yeah, that's where Lohrei can add for you, that offensive ability, the skating ability, entering the zone, creating that chance right in front. Unfortunately, he's had a couple of defensive miscues in that first period that resulted in the back of the net.
Atra bringing the Bruins ahead. Gives to Tufte, and his shot blocked off of Trouba. Sails up and over the net. Zegras wraps it around to the far side. Terry able to protect the puck. And the Ducks moving ahead. Drop pass here from Zegras to Strome, and a shot right into the glove of Swayman. Gets the whistle with 12:44 to go here in the second period. We'll step aside. 2-0 Anaheim with the lead here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
Yes, goal.
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. to H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
Hi. Sorry, did I startle you? When you're used to hearing a certain type of commercial, something like this can, well, take you by surprise. That's kind of how it is with the Lexus RX, a vehicle that has continued to defy expectations for over 25 years. From the first luxury vehicle of its kind, to the first hybrid luxury vehicle, to the only plug-in hybrid worthy of the RX name. We understand you want more than the everyday SUV. And isn't being understood an amazing feeling? Click the banner to discover more. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Celtics play here at the Sports Hub.
12:44 left in the second period. Anaheim with a 2-0 lead. Bruins unable to capitalize on the first power play chance in this game. Ducks penalty killers toward the bottom of the league in that department, but killed off 21 of their last 24.
I mean, both of these teams are
not good special teams.
Not good at special teams, yeah. And I think we got a big enough sample size now. It's not, you know.
The Ducks are 31st in the league on the power play, 27th on the penalty kill. Bruins are 30th and 25th in those categories. A face-off win here in the defensive zone as the Bruins look to move out. Coyle will pick up a free puck near the blue line, carry it to the red, and then float it down the right wing corner. Marchand gets in after it, but it'll be Zegras Out through the neutral zone comes Leo Carlson. Lifted into the right wing corner. Zadorov gets back there. Knocks the stick out of Carlson's hand. Puck came around the far side and thrown to the net by Dumoulin. Kicked out of there. And Marchand will send Lindholm up through the neutral ice. Shipped into the right wing corner. Gets in after it. But the Ducks there in time. Lauren out of the far corner. Taken away. Pasternak trying to drag it out in front. Got tripped up. And they're going to get a penalty. There's an argument about this one. It wasn't about the Gudas one earlier.
I'm not saying he didn't get tripped up, but that was a late call by the referee. Pasternak brings this puck strong to the front of the net from the right side as Lindholm kicks the puck to him, and Helleson, I think the trip is going to go to Gibson. Gibson reaches out to poke check that puck, and he ends up catching basically the toe of the left skate of Pasternak. And Gibson kind of pleading his case, but it was a late call. But the Bruins did not do much on that first power play. Zegers is going to serve it. They didn't do much on that first power play. They were kind of disjointed right from the start.
And no Charlie McAvoy, obviously, so Mason Lohrei will quarterback this top power play unit. And the puck gets through a diving Pasternak, comes back toward the Boston zone. Lohrei on his horse, dealing with Leeson. Leeson trying to center one. Bruins deny that, but the puck ricochets out into the neutral ice. Lacombe over to Gudas. And the Ducks will now dump one in on Swayman. Sticks it aside, and Pasternak will regroup here with 1:35 to go in the man advantage. And then Pasternak goes down coming out of the zone. Leeson is going to go for tripping, and it'll be a two-man advantage.
That's careless there from Leeson. You can't reach in that situation. It's all the way down in the Bruins zone. Bruins have nothing going on here. And no argument as he goes to the box. It's just not a smart penalty. Greg Cronin fuming right now. He definitely reached in on this one as Pasternak made a move around him in the high slot area of the Bruins zone. And, yeah, takes out the right skate of Pasternak.
So 1:32 of two-man advantage here for the Bruins.
Yeah, you can't do that if you're Leeson.
Well, especially when the Bruins power play is getting nothing.
Well, it's not even that. It's true, but it's a nothing play. He's coming out of his own zone. It's not like he's entering, Anaheim zone and he tries to reach to poke a puck away.
Face off in the offensive zone here for Elias Lindholm. Off the draw, Zacha. Got it to Lohrei at the blue line. Pasternak in the high slot. Backs off toward the blue line himself. Gives it down low and gets it right back from Zacha. Fired it through the slot. Looking for Lindholm on the back door. Instead now Lohrei to the left circle. Gave it up and got it right back for the shot. Save made by Gibson. The rebound got away from him. But the Ducks will get it cleared as Lundestrom sends it all the way down. 1:05 to go in the two-man advantage. Lohrei with a pass up the right side. Pasternak steps in across the line, skates it down to the right corner. Gives it back to Lohrei, kicks it onto his stick. Walks it along the blue line. Pasternak right circle, got it across Lindholm, a one-timer, and they score! Marchand poked in the rebound. And the Bruins with a power play goal cut it to a 2-1 Anaheim lead.
Yeah, this one sneaks through. Marchand's saying it's Lindholm. Lindholm's going to the bench. I thought Marchand put it home as well, but we were kind of blocked out by Gibson. Good puck movement. They get the puck into the zone. It's 5-on-3. It's pretty easy entry. Pasternak in the right wing circle. He's going to go across ice to Lindholm in the left wing circle, right on the dot in the left wing circle. Gets a good shot away. Gibson's over there, but this puck squeaks through him. Marchand's going to make sure, but it did cross the line on Lindholm's initial shot.
So Elias Lindholm will get his 11th of the year. And the Bruins still have 1:20 left of 5-on-4 time now. As off the face-off, they control the puck. It'll be Wotherspoon giving it to Charlie Coyle.
Yes.
Geekie gives back to Wotherspoon.
So Wotherspoon instead of Zadorov on the power play.
Down into the left wing corner. Center of the blue line. Wotherspoon and Geekie playing catch to the left circle. Now to the right side for Patra. Up top for Wotherspoon. Patra right circle. Tried to center for Coyle. Broken up. Coyle knocked it out of the air, but it's taken by Vetrano. Shorthanded. Vetrano on his horse. Moving in on Swayman, who tipped it wide to the far post.
Vetrano could move. He got the step there on Wotherspoon.
Here's a centering pass, and Vetrano whistled one wide from the slot. Geekie taps it back down low, and he'll get it back from Wotherspoon. 30 to go in the power play. Geekie deals to Patra. Just inside the line, here's Coyle. In for Brazo in the slot. The puck bounced away from him. It'll be brought around the near side by Killorn. Played back through the neutral ice. Wotherspoon able to deny entry from Fabry. Zadorov's got it left wing side, moving in with a shot, and Gibson cradles that, draws the whistle with 9 to go in the power play. 9:40 to play here in the second.
Yeah, but Toronto, the best two chances there, latter part of this power play. Got the step, cut in. Got a good shot away from that left wing side, and then had another chance from the slot as he was open. He gets those feet moving. He can go. He's got one of the stranger contracts in the NHL, right? Does he not, with all that deferred money?
So he gets a 3-year, $6 million per year extension, but most of it is going to be deferred. He's going to be making like $900,000 a year. The rest of it will come much, much later.
But I think that helps cap-wise as well.
It's going to save him a lot of tax money. I know that.
Bobby Bonilla and Shohei Ohtani of the NHL.
Well, it almost
not quite that much money, but
but almost immediately there was talk about changing the rules.
Yes.
After he signed that deal, like they don't want to start going down that road too many times.
They used to before there was a cap. There was deferred money.
Here's Gudas with a drive that goes wide of Swayman, ricochets all the way back down ice.
There are players in the league taking a $1 million salary, but getting bonuses one lump sum bonus every July.
Right.
That's lockout proof.
Here's Vetrano handing one off on the right side. Ducks are at full strength here. We're under 9 minutes to play in the period. Kastelik will work the Bruins back ahead. Sends it down toward the left wing corner. Beecher got wiped out going into the corner against Hellison. Ducks will head back the other direction. Mason McTavish knocked down coming into the Bruin zone by Kastelik. Frederick up the left wing side here for Boston. Down the near wall. Ellison knocked him off his stride. Freddie stays with the puck going behind the net. Now it's taken away by Dumoulin. Dumoulin pivots into that far corner. Takes a hit from Frederick. Knocked him down, but Ellison with a long pass ahead that just out of the reach of Gauthier coming into the Boston zone. Ticking down toward 8 minutes to go here in the second. Patra back the other way. Able to stick handle it in some open ice. Deals it off to the far side. Winding and firing for the shot was Wotherspoon. All kinds of traffic in front of Gibson.
Brazo trying to get to that rebound, tied up.
Lorai gloves one down back near the Boston blue line. Off of Patra's stick on the cross ice pass. Came back toward Lorai. Fires one to the far side. Here's Brazo to the right circle with a shot. Glove stopped by Gibson. And hangs on for the whistle. 7:35 left here in the second. Bruins on the board, trailing Anaheim 2-1 on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
yes, cool,
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Listen live. Check out our podcast with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
7:35 left here in the second. Bruins down 2-1. We were talking a few moments ago about Frank Vetrano's contract extension with Anaheim. As was reported at the time, it's a 3-year, $18 million deal, but the average annual value of the deal is just over $4.5 million. He gets $3 million in each of the next 3 seasons. He'll get $9 million in deferred salary starting in 2035. So they punted basically half of the payments of the contract for a decade.
Yeah, it's Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah.
It's $1 million every June 1st or something like that,
It's
right?
a hell of a retirement plan.
That was from the Mets that he got that from, was it not?
Yeah, he's still collecting on it 20-some years later. Here's a face-off in the offensive zone. It's controlled here by the Ducks. The Comb will send it around the far side. Cleared out. Too far for Carlson. Lorai going to drive it right back in. Gibson stays put as Radko Gudas will steer it toward the far circle. Picked off by Coyle. Tried a wide-angle shot. Gudas blocked it. Toward the near side boards. Lorai pinching in. It's knocked past him by Killorn. Peak coming over to able to slow that rush up. Carlson's pass redirected, but got over to Zegras. To the back of the Bruins net. Hooked back toward the near side by Lorai. Marchand couldn't get it cleared. Out of the corner. Here's Carlson coming toward the slot off the feed, but couldn't get off a shot before Peak closed on him. Marchand drags one around. Gudas coming through the neutral ice. Killorn back checking, able to knock Marchand down, take him off that puck. Zegras lost it in the neutral ice. Lorai off the near boards to Zacha. Backed it up to Peak from the red line. He'll lift it into the left wing corner. 6.5 to go, second period. Geeky along the near side wall. Zacha there as well. Wrapped it around the far boards. Carlo will play it back in deep. Gets all the way through to Geeky. Zadorov threw one in front. Zacha trying for the redirect.
That was a good shot for a tip there. It's just off net, but it's right.
Here's Zacha. Able to keep one alive at the blue line. Carlo with a shot. Save Gibson. Rebound off toward Pasternak in the far corner. Tried to get it back in front. Geeky forced away from the net. Still has the puck. Back to Pasternak for a drive from the blue line. Gibson made the save and a little slow in getting up as the puck played back toward the Boston zone. Back toward the near side of the Bruins end. Geeky couldn't get to it in time. Spun back into the far corner. Carlo burst it back around, and we get another penalty coming out here against the Ducks.
Ross Johnson.
Zadorov went down.
Johnson in that offensive zone. It's going to be a trip as Zadorov spun. And they're going to say Johnson stuck out the foot.
Oh, the Bruins will go right back to the power play here and a chance to tie the game with 5.5 minutes to go in the second. They trail it 2-1 on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
Yes, goal.
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
Life can change in an instant. My brother-in-law died suddenly, leaving behind my sister and her 2 young kids. He didn't have life insurance, so now they're facing the unthinkable, leaving their home. After seeing what they went through, I immediately called SelectQuote to get life insurance for my family. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent compared policies from highly rated carriers to find me the right coverage in my budget. I got a $500,000 policy for only $16 a month. Plus, I qualified for same-day life insurance. No medical exam was required, and I was covered by the time I hung up. Even if you have a health concern, SelectQuote agents can find you the right policy at the lowest price. And while you can't prepare emotionally for a loss, SelectQuote can give you peace of mind with life insurance. Don't wait until it's too late.
Go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
The home of the Revs, the Sports Hub.
5.5 to go here in the second. Bruins trailing 2-1, but going right back onto the power play.
That was a long conversation going on between the referees, and Johnson. He's just coming in for the hit, and Zadorov's kind of spinning. I see the argument, but he did clip him with the skate. Better capitalize here because I don't know if you're going to get the next power play.
It's 4 straight here against Anaheim. As the puck comes around behind their net, Killorn with a chance to clear and does. Elias Lindholm with a power play goal and a 5-on-3 earlier in the period from Pasternak and Lohrei. By the way, that extends Pasternak's streak now to 14 straight with a point. That is a career best. As Zacha deals for Lohrei, backing up toward his own blue line. Lindholm to Zacha, cutting to his left, gains the line here for Marchand. Zacha fires one across for Pasternak to kick it to his stick. Now Lohrei to Marchand, top of the left circle, down low. Lindholm right in front, knocked off his stick by Dumoulin. Trouba and Killorn couldn't get it cleared. Here's Marchand, high slot with a shot that goes up and over. Killorn in the far corner, pressured by Zacha. Minute 8 to go in the power play. Lindholm plays it off the boards, back to the point for Lohrei. Deep it comes, got away from Marchand, ripped around the near glass, and Pasternak couldn't knock it down. It'll go all the way down, and Anaheim will change up the penalty killers. 4:20 to go here in the second. 50 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Lohrei deals off for Patra. Coming through the neutral zone, knocked away from him before he gained the attacking blue line. Lohrei now, well, spinning around behind all the way to the near side. Gudas under pressure, lost it in behind the net. Coyle to Geekie, wrapped back around the near side, out of Pasternak's reach. It'll come out of the zone. And Lohrei coming back to get it, bearing down on him. Leeson into the far corner. Vetrano cuts in front of Lohrei, keeps him away from the puck, but Bruins have it. 17 to go in the power play. Patra over to Geekie, across the line. Here's Patra, right circle shot, kicked out in front by Gibson. Brazo couldn't handle the rebound, and it's cleared back the other way. Fabry with a shot in on Swayman, who makes the blocker save.
Brazo's had a couple looks off of rebounds.
Johnston's out of the box. Team's at full strength. Patra's centering pass, ricocheted off a couple of bodies. Dumoulin in the near corner. 3:20 to go in the period. Patra laid it down to Brazo, tried to find Geekie in front, redirected in behind the net. Reverse hit along the far side as Zadorov knocked down Johnston. Wotherspoon's spun it back in behind the net. It'll come up top here to Zadorov, walking it toward the far side. Wines, fires through the slot, untouched wide. Wotherspoon, left side, back over to Zadorov, a one-timer. That got blocked into the near corner with 2:48 to go in the period. Dumoulin able to shovel it along for Fabry, and he'll skate it toward the far side of the ice and lift it through neutral.
Tired group for Anaheim. They needed that change.
Frederick, bump coming through the neutral zone, able to regain possession. Lays it off the near glass and in deep. Gudas looking over his shoulder as Beecher comes bearing down on him. Lacombe sent it around the far side. Gauthier forced back into the corner. And Kastelik's got possession. Back to the blue line, and a long shot by Frederick, and tipped up and out of play off of Gibson. And we get a little shoving battle in front with Gudas involved. Kastelik comes racing right in there. Officials will try to cool everyone down here with 2:14 to go in the second period.
Avidia Bank is teaming up with Boston legend Patrice Bergeron again this season for Assist for Kids to donate $37,000 to help Metro West families pay for youth hockey. Get details now at avidiabank.com/Team Bergeron.
So the Bruins now 1 for 4 on the power play in this game. Anaheim has not had a chance of their own.
Just looking around the league today, we mentioned a couple blowout scores. The Capitals over the Penguins 8-3. Buffalo Sabres 8-2 winners over the New York Rangers.
What's that Carolina game going? It was 4-0 after one. Toronto was up
4-0 in the second period, halfway through.
Off the face-off, Marchand walks it around behind the net. Centering pass, knocked away from Coyle. Coyle retrieves it out of the right corner. Brings it to the top of the face-off circle. Pivots around. Strome took a shot, knocked down in front. It'll come back to Lohrei. Brings it back toward the point. But as he tried to send one toward the net, it was blocked by Terry. Long
there's the
pass.
penalty to
Here's
Bruins.
Vetrano on the delayed call. Lacombe lost it to Marchand, touches up. There's the whistle with 1:47 to go in the period.
And Mason Lohrei is going to complain about this call, and he probably has an argument, but they've had 4 power plays. But he turned it over at the offensive blue line. Now you got to retreat. He's on the back check, and they're going to call him for whether it's interference or holding or...
Interference. The Ducks power play will go to work for the first time tonight. They are just over 12% success rate on the year.
Yeah, he took down Lacombe. Lacombe, look, he does the smart thing. He just killed off four penalties. You expect to get that next one.
So the Bruins down by a goal. 1:47 to go in the period. As the puck up against the side of the net, Swayman won't let it go, so they'll have another face-off to his right.
They haven't given up much this period, the Bruins haven't. I mean, they're aided by the 4 power plays that they've had, but I think Vetrano had 2 chances shorthanded. They haven't given up much 5-on-5 this period.
Shots in the period are 13-5 Bruins.
Yeah.
Charlie Coyle back over the bench getting a new stick before they face this one off. He and Elias Lindholm up front on the penalty killing unit. And now Tavish is kicked out of the face-off circle, so Strome gets in there. Ducks able to win the draw, but then it's stolen by Lindholm, and he works his way shorthanded through the neutral ice. It's wrestled off of it near the attacking blue line, and back comes Strome the other way. Ducks will get set up with Zegras at the blue line. To the top of the face-off circle and down low. 1:20 to go in the period. So puck comes across to McTavish to the right circle. Up top for Zegras with a shot that got through to Swayman. Save made, no rebound. Zadorov takes a little poke at
Probably Vetrano, I believe. Yeah, it was Vetrano. Good non-call on either guy there. Both guys getting in a couple of licks.
Just a little joust after the whistle. Tough to build up a rivalry with a team that, as you said, you haven't played in about 15 or 16 months.
I know the Bruins played them twice early in the season last year. And this is the first time. Is this the last team that the Bruins have faced? They faced everybody else at least once, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it is. Here's Zegras at the blue line. Took the shot. Save made by Swayman. Rebound kicked along to Terry. They get it back to Zegras up top. McTavish at the right circle. Final minute of the period as they work it down low and around to the far side. They get it back to Zegras, center of the blue line. And McTavish, a one-timer from the near circle, went wide to the short side. Kept alive. Zegras at the blue line just barely kept it in. McTavish out near the blue line along the near side boards will play it away from Zaka. Strome wrapped it to the far side to Terry. Under pressure from Carlo. Vetrano knocked off his stick by Marchand, but kept alive again. Zegras to the right side for McTavish. Back to Zegras, 28 to go in the period. They work it to Vetrano, tried a one-timer, but Marchand disrupted that. Terry in the far corner. His pass hit Marchand in the skate, kicked along for Zadorov, and out of the zone it goes.
I don't see many teams going with 5 forwards right on the power play. Anaheim electing to do that, and some frustration going to the bench that time. I think that was Strome who just broke his stick over the bench as he went down towards the locker room.
6 to go in the period. They'll try for one more entry here. They get it deep. Peak able to win a battle down deep against Leo Carlson, and that gets it to the siren to end the period. So it'll be 13 seconds of penalty time to carry over into the third for Mason Lohrei. But the Bruins get on the board and cut the lead in half with the 5-on-3 power play goal by Elias Lindholm. And it's 2-1 Anaheim at the end of 2. We'll be back to recap the first 40 minutes next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
yes, cool,
or attending one live, You can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Geico's motorcycle expertise gives me the coverage I need, like 24/7 claims. I'm on cloud 9.
Disclaimer, clouds are wholly unable to support the weight of an adult human.
What's happening?
Furthermore, clouds are not numbered. Even if you procured a jetpack and searched, you'd find no cloud number 9. However, at that altitude, you'd likely befriend a flock of migrating snow geese.
Geese?
Who'd encourage you to leave your 24/7 Geico motorcycle claims insurance behind, as they would take you in and even share their dinner of crickets and clovers with you.
Ew.
Geico assumes no liability for any indigestion that may occur from a clover cricket dinner. Geico, expertise for your motorcycle.
88 unread emails? Okay. New credit card? Delete. Congratulations, you've just won. Goodbye. COVID-19 news and delete. Wait, learn about treatment options for COVID-19. No and go. Okay, kind of catchy. Know that oral prescription treatment options are available for COVID-19 if you're at high risk. And go see your doctor if you experience symptoms or test positive. And forwarding that to mom.
Talk to your pharmacist or doctor if you or a loved one gets COVID-19. Know and go. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The only place to hear the game, the Sports Hub.
Walks it along the blue line. Pasternak, right circle. Got it across. Lindholm, a one-timer. And they score! Marchand poked in the rebound. And the Bruins, with a power play goal, cut it to a 2-1 Anaheim lead. They ended up crediting that goal to Elias Lindholm. It got across the line just before Marchand tipped it. So it's Lindholm's goal. And either way, it's our amazing play presented by Timberline Construction, providing truly exceptional service in construction management, pre-construction, design, build, and due diligence support. Learn more at timberlineconstruction.com. Timberline Construction, exceptional, no exceptions. 2 periods in the books here at TD Garden. Bruins trailing Anaheim by a score of 2-1 alongside Bob Beers. I'm Ryan Johnston. And, the Bruins fell behind 2-0. Couple of miscues in that first period, wound up in the back of the net. They get 4 power play chances in the second period, able to cash in on the 5-on-3 and cut this back to a 1-goal game. And overall thoughts on what we've seen here in the first 40 minutes?
Well, they cut down on the chances they gave up in the second period.
Yeah.
I mean, the first period was... first few minutes of the game, they were not sharp, and Anaheim had some opportunities, and it looked like they were going to get to their game. The best chances for the Bruins came off the stick of Morgan Geekie. A couple shifts in a row, or at least the one shift that they had out there in the 5-on-5 situation. No penalties in the first period. The Bruins are aided by 4 power plays in the second. They just kind of looking at the shots on goal. They've got 15 at 5-on-5. They've got another 5 during the 4 power plays that they had, including the 5-on-3. So, but they didn't give up as much on the other side of things. Toronto had a couple of shorthanded chances, but they really didn't give up a lot 5-on-5. Swayman was busy in that first period. And, it's an alarming trend, and it has been most of the season. What was a stat that you had from Ty Anderson? It was 16 times this year.
16 times they've given up a goal in the last minute of the period.
But that was also goals that came quickly there for Anaheim at the end of the first period. And they should have had another one. They could have had another one. McTavish hit the post right after it. They could have been down 3-0 going into the locker room, and it all came fairly quickly at the end of that first period. So, that's something that's still an issue for them. And I thought both goals were very preventable. You look at, it's a 4-on-4 situation. You get a misread in the neutral zone. Lohrei comes all the way over. It leads to a 2-on-1, and it's a well-executed 2-on-1 by Anaheim. And Zegers gets the goal. And then the other one, Terry comes over the blue line with the puck, and that's just a breakdown in coverage by the Bruins. Terry comes over the line. The Bruins have 4 or 5 guys back on the ice right at the blue line, but I allow him to get into the zone, make a play. And then when Petrano drops the puck back to the point, he goes to the net. 2 guys go at the point man. That's Lacombe. He goes D to D, and Gudas makes a nice heads-up pass down low to a wide-open Petrano off to the side of the net. So breakdowns, whether it's the entry into the zone, whether it's a breakdown, a decision without the puck in the neutral zone, and then the coverage issue inside their own zone. But we've been saying that all year. Most goals are preventable if you play them right defensively. Right. Not all of them. Some are just great plays, but those are tough to swallow when you might not be at the top of your game. You expect Anaheim to have some rust as well, but you might not be at the top of your game, and you come in and, okay, let's get through this. And they did. They got saves by Swayman. They found their game. They didn't score. Gibson made some good saves as well, but then they have the 2 major breakdowns late in that first period.
Looking at the bigger picture, we don't know the situation with McAvoy and Hampus Lindholm. We'll hopefully get some clarification on that tomorrow when Don Sweeney addresses the media. But from the bigger picture here, over the next handful of games, whatever it winds up being, how do the Bruins defensively keep themselves afloat minus their top 2 D-men here?
It's got to be team, right? It's got to be, and it is when they're in the lineup as well. But it's those are minutes that are tough to take out of your lineup and make up for. But it's the as a group, how you defend as a group. And when Joe Sacco talked about it this morning with us, he said, we want to forecheck up the ice. We want to be better checkers up the ice or in the neutral zone, killing plays before they get going the other way. They've done that at times here today. Just something to try to keep an eye on moving forward. But that takes some of the onus off of the defensemen in your lineup because you're checking up the ice. And, when you see these breakdowns inside the zone, how did they get there? What happened up the ice? What happened in the middle of the ice? And then once you get back in your own zone, how quickly do you sort it out and have your coverage in place? But that's a unit. That's a 5-man. You count the goaltender. That's a 6-man unit in how you're defending, no matter where you are on the ice when you don't have the puck. And that's something that they got away from the second half of last season. They really got away from it. They weren't nearly as good and airtight defensively as they have been in the past several years. And then it continued on into this season, leaked into this season.
Well, Anaheim with the 2-1 lead at the end of 2 periods. Elias Lindholm from David Pasternak, Mason Lohrei on the power play, a 5-on-3 advantage at 9:08 of the second, the Bruins' lone goal. Our Music of the Game is brought to you by Live on March 19th. Get your tickets now at livenation.com. We're going to check the out-of-town scoreboard when we return on the 98.5, the Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V. It's your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club. Politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize. And turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
Ready to prioritize yourself in the new year? Your skin is a great place to start. Dime Beauty, founded by a master esthetician, is more than just a skincare company. With 4 skin-conscious categories, skincare, beauty, body care, and fragrance, Dime offers simple, spa-worthy products that will help you enter 2025 with confidence. Whether you're revitalizing your regimen with nourishing products or building one from scratch, Dime makes it easy. The Work System, our all-in-one best-selling routine, includes a cleanser of your choice, toner, serums, and moisturizers, taking the guesswork out of skincare for your healthiest, happiest skin yet. Dime's commitment to clean ingredients and sustainable packaging ensures every product is as gentle on your skin as it is on the planet. With thousands of glowing 5-star reviews and a loyal community, the results speak for themselves. Revive your skin and give yourself the routine refresh you deserve by visiting dimebeautyco.com. That's dimebeautyco.com. Your best skin awaits.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So, I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Felger and Naz, afternoons 2 to 6 on the Sports Hub.
Back here at the TD Garden after 2 periods of play, Anaheim is leading the Bruins by the score of 2-1. Busy night around the NHL, busy day around the NHL. Scores from earlier today. Final in overtime, Minnesota Wild defeat the Red Wings 4-3. Flyers 6-3 winners over the Edmonton Oilers. Washington all over Pittsburgh, 8-3 winners there. Buffalo all over the Rangers. Sabres 8-2 winners over the New York Rangers in that one. Seattle gets by Florida 2-1. Dallas 4-2 over the New Jersey Devils. Nashville comes up with a 2-1 victory over the Colorado Avalanche. At the end of 2 periods, the Toronto Maple Leafs lead Carolina by the score of 4-0. Montreal 5 and Ottawa 2. That game is in the second period. At the end of 2 periods, Columbus 3-1 lead over the Chicago Blackhawks. And also at the end of 2 periods, it's Winnipeg leading St. Louis by the score of 2-1. Anaheim 2, Bruins 1 here after 2 periods of play. Third period action coming up next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey folks, it's Brian from Norfolk Power. Contractors, get in now and build your custom equipment package. Norfolk Power is a leading destination for your attachment needs, including diamond mulching heads, Encon rotators, and Land Pride construction attachments with aggressive financing options. Want to look stylish? Pull that equipment package with the Max D trailer. Visit any of our Norfolk Power stores or text us at 508-384-0011. Norfolk Power, celebrating 50 years in business.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So, I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Hey folks, it's Brian from Norfolk Power. Contractors, get in now and build your custom equipment package. Norfolk Power is a leading destination for your attachment needs, including diamond mulching heads, Encon rotators, and Land Pride construction attachments with aggressive financing options. Want to look stylish? Pull that equipment package with the Max D trailer. Visit any of our Norfolk Power stores or text us at 508-384-0011. Norfolk Power, celebrating 50 years in business.
The home of the Bees, the Sports Hub.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the 98.5, the Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. WBZ-FM at HD Boston, 98.5, the Sports Hub. Station. This is a black and gold flashback.
Sabres proving mighty tough here at Buffalo. Boston out in front, and now Orr has the puck. Moves it up over the line to John McKenzie. He shoots, he scores! John McKenzie, 20th goal of the season. And Bobby Orr's 100th point for a record. And that takes Bobby Orr, the only player in the National Hockey League to put 2 100-point seasons back-to-back.
That clip from this week in 1971. Bobby Orr's 100th point on that second period goal by John McKenzie. Orr became the first player in NHL history to put up back-to-back 100-point seasons as the Bruins beat the Sabres at the Odd in Buffalo. 6-3 was the final score. We are also told by our producer Jeremy Conley, on this date in 1928, for the first time at Boston Garden, a red light was used to signal a goal scored. Prior to that, they had just waved a flag. And thankfully, all these years later, that red light still blares and lets us know from up here that the goal has crossed, the puck has indeed crossed the goal line. Bruins trailing Anaheim 2-1 as we get ready to start the third period. Elias Lindholm's power play goal, assisted by David Pastrnak and Mason Lohrei in that second period. Our delivery of the game, delivered by Granite City Electric's GCE Night Train. Electrical contractors, get on board the GCE Night Train. Order your materials to be delivered overnight to the job site the following morning and save time and money. Go to GCEnighttrain.com to order. Bruins will be going from left to right here in the third period. Last two games that they played prior to the break, they had leads going into the third period that evaporated, ended up not getting any points. They need to find a way to get some points out of this one tonight. Down by a goal going into the third. They have to kill off 13 seconds of the Mason Lohrei penalty before things get evened up. As they win the faceoff, and Zadorov will steer one down toward a new goaltender.
Well, you'd mentioned late in that second period that Gibson kind of came up a little lame there after making a save.
So Lukas Dostal will take over in between the pipes here for Anaheim to start the third period.
And yeah, Gibson's not even on the bench right now for Anaheim.
Carlson gets one through the neutral zone, cut off by Zadorov. He'll play it back for Marchand and carries it down the right wing side. Bruins are at full strength. Marchand got it into the corner. Will chase one back toward the hash mark. Pokes it to Peak at the point. Over to Lohrei, far side. Here's Pastrnak just on into the far corner, but has his pocket picked by Killorn. And the puck is lifted out into neutral ice. Lohrei to Peak, and right back in deep it goes. From behind his net, Zellweger dealt it to the near side for Lacombe. Out through the neutral zone. Peak steers it back toward the Anaheim end. And Geekie able to knock it away from Gudas, but taken back again here by the Ducks. Lacombe from the near circle to Gudas in the middle of his own zone. Toronto cutting through the neutral ice. Deals it back off to the right side for Strome. Here's Lacombe in the high slot. Works his way to the right wing corner. Behind the net, Terry to the near side. Back to Gudas at the point. Shot. Hit a body. Strome right back out in front for Vetrano, broken up. Pastrnak trying to find the handle. Does. Drags it into the neutral zone. Deals off along the left wing side. But Geekie quickly runs out of room. Toronto near his own blue line here for Anaheim with 1:45 gone in the third. Gudis will give it to McTavish. McTavish out toward his own blue line, harassed from behind by Patra. Can't get it deep. It'll come to Wotherspoon. Bats it over to Callahan. Pass up the left side. Patra, and offside down the middle was Brazo. Just couldn't quite hold the blue line.
Fans, hockey season's the perfect time to replace your old boiler with a new Peerless boiler. Don't wait until you have no heat. Go to peerlessboilers.com for a dealer near you. And remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers.
Bruins will be back here on Causeway Tuesday night. Toronto Maple Leafs in town for an original 6 matchup starting at 7 p.m. Some tickets still available for that one. Visit bostonbruins.com/tickets and secure your seat. Wotherspoon will play it down the right wing boards here and in behind the Anaheim net. McTavish from the far circle. Played out toward the blue line. Batted away. Patra able to get it to Frederick. Off the end boards, it'll come to Wotherspoon on the right circle. Dealt it back in deep to the far side. Callahan pinching down against Fabry. And now Frederick takes one away on the far circle, but Brazo had stumbled. Patra, top of the circle, lost it. Pushed out of the zone. Callahan will retrieve. Wotherspoon quickly to Patra in front of the Bruins bench, looking for Riley Tufte, who had just jumped on. The puck instead goes into the door.
They had really kind of shortened the bench there in that second period. Tufte didn't get much ice time at all in that second. And mindful of the kind of the long change, and you got the advantage of the last change here at home.
Just over 5 minutes of ice time through 2 periods for Tufte.
And he played 3.5 in the first.
Right. And just his 4th NHL game of the year. He's got 15 goals and 28 points in 40 games in Providence this season. He started the year in the NHL. Only played 3 games in the first month or so of the season. Puck in the neutral zone here just outside the Anaheim line. Tufte trying to force it in across the line, does. Kastelik from his belly able to shovel one toward the net. Ducks will look to clear out, but some pressure put on by Beecher. Forces a turnover and in front, a chance for Kastelik. Goes crashing in to Dostal.
I thought Kastelik, we've seen that called goalie interference before, right? He's going to the net hard and ends up making that contact. Anything about Tufte as well, and the fourth line in general, the Bruins had 4 power plays in that second period. So.
Right. Marchand wipes out, coming through the neutral zone, goes hard into the boards far side, and he's shaken up. Marchand is crawling back toward the Bruins bench, and they're going to blow the play down here.
Yeah, he blew a tire right in front of Anaheim's bench, and with clean ice, only a few minutes into this period, he went into the boards hard.
Back onto his feet, being helped onto the bench.
The referees getting together to make sure that there was no penalty. I didn't see anything here. I think he just went down on his own and then slides into the boards hard. And he put his left arm up, the head kind of his left arm up to brace, but the head also took some of that. We'll see what happens here with they feel it's the head. A concussion spotter will say
right
and take him to the locker room.
It's being looked at on the bench right now. Keep our eye over there as they get ready to line up for a face-off at center ice. 16:23 left here in the third period. Here is Carlson inside the Anaheim zone. Lacombe gives to Gudis. Deal it up the left side. Here's Carlson in across the Boston line. Elias Lindholm blocks a pass. Gets it to Coyle. Coyle will drag it up the right side. Trent Frederick joining them in place of Marchand here as Killorn bats it back out of the Anaheim zone. Lindholm from the red line. Pass to Coyle. Steps in across the line. Here's Frederick. Top of the left circle. Trying to get it back to Coyle, but he was held away from it by Lacombe. Back of the net. Battle for possession. It'll come toward the near circle. And Zegras will bring the Ducks out. Lacombe deals off to the right side for Killorn. Just sweeps it around behind Jeremy Swayman's net. Zaka and Coyle will bring ahead. Zaka coming into the middle. Dealt off to the left side, and a one-timer by Geekie. Dostal makes the glove stop on a 97-mile-an-hour shot.
I think that's the first shot for the Bruins here in this period, and they make sure that Dostal has to stop a good one. That's Strom actually jump out. He did. He jumped out of the way. Like the flamingo. He jumped out of the way on that shot.
The flamingo.
That won't go unnoticed on the Anaheim's bench. In fact, Greg Cronin taking a walk down and talking to a couple of the forwards there. And I wouldn't doubt that one didn't get lost on him.
There's a shot up.
I think it was usually just a one leg going up, but that was a double leg. He jumped out of the way.
There's Geekie keeping one into the blue line, tried to feed Pasternak, but it was a little off the mark. Pasta able to gather it in. Here's Wotherspoon, high slot with a shot. Dostal at the top of his crease, made the save. Tried to get it back to Zacha, but taken away, and Vetrano will bring back through the neutral ice. So for Lukas Dostal, the fourth-year goaltender, this is his 100th career appearance. It comes in a relief in this third period. Vetrano down the left wing or right wing side will play it around behind the Bruins net. Geekie bats one through Dumoulin. Tap free here by Pasternak. Geekie trying to battle around Dumoulin.
He was holding Dumoulin's stick.
Geekie whistles a shot up and over the net.
That's what Dumoulin was complaining about. He's still complaining going to the bench.
Toronto played it back toward the Boston line, but didn't connect with Terry. 5.5 gone by here in the third. Patra inside the Anaheim zone along the near side. Took a hit from Zellweger. Sent it to the back of the net. Trouba and Brazo cancel each other out. Zellweger will play it off the near boards. Out of the zone it comes. Kicked in off of Carlo. Thrown right back out from the red line. Frederick looking for Patra at the attacking blue line. Missed him. Zellweger in the near corner. Patra bears down on him. Carried out of the zone now by McTavish. Up the left side he comes. McTavish sends one across to the right circle, and the shot up and over the net by Fabbri. Patra will bring the Bruins back the other way along with Brazo as they crisscross. Patra to the left circle with a long backhand shot. Save made by Dostal. And
Patra's at the end of a shift there. He wanted to get to the bench after taking that backhand. That time he let Brazo go kind of clear it and go through towards the net. He went behind him once they get over the blue line.
Lorei back in the Boston zone. Bruins moving from left to right here in the third. Peak tripped up coming to the Anaheim line. Trying to stay with the puck along with Tufte along the near boards. Battle for it. It'll come out across the blue line. Beecher backs it up to Lorei. Off the far boards to Kastelik, and deep it goes. Puck will come toward the near side for Leeson. Wide. Ludus, front of the Anaheim bench, try to play it up ice. It deflects up and out of play with 13:03 to go here in regulation. It's the Ducks with a 2-1 lead here at TD Garden on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Being a human is hard, especially if you're a woman who's having trouble doing that totally normal thing all humans do but not all of us like to talk about. You know, pooping. Thankfully, Garden of Life's doctor-formulated women's probiotics contain 50 billion probiotics to help you be a more regular human. Garden of Life, available now on Amazon. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Packages by Expedia. You were made to be rechargeable. We were made to package flights, hotels, and hammocks for less. Expedia. Made to travel.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
Connect with Boston's home for sports online. 98.5thesportshub.com.
Fans, the Boston Bruins are bringing you the best snow day ever. Tune in on Tuesday, March 11th, as the Bruins and Panthers on-ice action is transformed into animation using NHL Edge data. Watch the same action happening on the ice, but in a whole new way for a one-of-a-kind game day viewing experience. Learn more at bostonbruins.com/best snow day ever. Got 13:03 left here in the third period. Bruins trailing 2-1. Couple of updates. Brad Marchand to the locker room after hitting the boards hard a few minutes ago. And John Gibson's night is over. The Ducks say he has an upper body injury. He will not return. Lukas Dostal taking over for him between the pipes to start the third period.
And he's had to make 2 really good saves, right?
Yeah.
One off the stick of Geekie on the one-timer.
Geekie in on the forecheck here against Gudis. Forces a turnover. The puck just got away from Pasternak, and Carlson will bring the Ducks up into the neutral zone. Carlo blocks a dump-in attempt. Free puck just outside the blue line, taken by Lacombe, and he drops it back to Gudis. Redirected deep now by Zegras, who gets knocked down by Zadorov. To the back of the net. Carlo able to seal it off. Boyle starts it up ice. Across the Anaheim line. Right down into the right wing corner before he's ridden away from it by Zellweger. Boyle from his knees able to get a stick on that puck, but now the Ducks will clear it away. Think wide pass. Chased down by Zellweger. Up the left wing side he comes. Takes a shot from the near side wall. Gloved by Swayman. Hangs on to it. 11:55 left here in regulation. Bruins down a goal.
And Bruins hockey is brought to you by Timberline Construction, providing truly exceptional service in construction management, pre-construction, design, build, and due diligence support. Learn more at timberlineconstruction.com. Timberline Construction, exceptional, no exceptions.
Face off in the defensive zone to the right of Jeremy Swayman. Kastelik will take that against McTavish. And McTavish is removed from face-off. I'm not sure he's taken a face-off yet tonight. Every time he's in there, it feels like he's been kicked out. Face-off controlled here by Boston as Lohrei gets it to Beecher. He gets knocked down by Dumoulin as he tried to bring it through the neutral zone. Puck comes back around behind Swayman. Lohrei to Frederick on the far left side. Peak. Pass in the direction of Beecher missed, and that's going to wind up an icing here against Boston.
Tavish had taken 11 faceoffs through the first 2 periods.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay.
5 and 6 in the first 2 periods.
Well, if he's taken 11, he's lined up for quite a few more than that.
Lined up for another one right now.
Mason McTavish, 3rd overall pick in 2021. 13 goals and 27 points on the season coming into this one. And gets a warning on this one. Can't get kicked out because it's an icing. Yeah. So he stands in there against Kastelik for a second opportunity. Kastelik wins that one. And it's Peak near side. Anaheim, by the way, the worst face-off team in the league. They're barely over 40% as a team for the year. Bruins have won 69% of them tonight.
It's a pretty young group that they have in there. I mean, especially in the middle there with Carlson and McTavish, 2 younger players.
Kastelik battling for possession in the Anaheim zone here. Beecher with a hit on Dumoulin, but the puck goes around to the far side. Beecher putting some pressure on over there. It'll come back to the near side, and Dumoulin's got some space. Carries it to the red line and dumps it in. Around the glass it goes to the far side. Lohrei kicks it back in behind the net. Parker Wotherspoon off the near wall for Brazo. Tapped ahead. But it'll be controlled by Leeson. Gudis with a pass up the right side. Bringing back toward his own zone was Lundestrom. And deep it comes around behind Swayman. Reached out to try to stop it, couldn't. Johnston able to take one away from Wotherspoon. Played off the far boards. Gudis. They work to Lundestrom for a shot. Save made by Swayman and a scramble for the rebound. Wotherspoon out of the far corner. They'll get it ahead toward Tufte and Patra. Angled back into the Boston end. 10:20 to go here in the third. Bruins down 2-1. Razzo gets it to Patra in the right corner. He got crunched in the corner, got the puck in front, but Patra is slow in getting up. And the Ducks coming back the other way. Zegras backhands one up over Swayman. Patra headed to the bench. Carlson from the blue line. Shoots one around behind the net. Wotherspoon off the far boards to Riley Tufte and just volleys it back toward the Anaheim zone. Bruins getting some changes on with 9:50 to play. Swayman hands for Zadorov at the back of the net. Zaka through the neutral zone. Geekie across the line. Didn't get around Trouba. Carlson will work his way back the other direction to the left corner. Around the boards it goes to the far side. Bounced away from Trouba. Bruins trying to take advantage. Puck angled off the near boards toward Pasternak, but he got tangled with Zellweger. And now Killorn with the puck on his stick here for Anaheim. Ducks getting some changes on here with Zellweger passing up into the neutral zone. Troy Terry down the left wing side. Try to leave it off for Strome. Taken away. Coyle pushed it up ice looking for Geekie, but just out of his reach. And back toward the Boston zone it comes. Under 9 minutes to go. Either team has scored here in the third. Anaheim has a 2-1 edge. Lindholm hands off to a cutting Frederick. Back to Lindholm. Left circle, a shot, and Dostal made the save and hangs on for the whistle. 8:48 to go in regulation. 2-1. Ducks lead it on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club. Politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize. And turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Ferguson, we know that time is money, and you can count on us to help keep your day on track. No matter what you need, you'll find it at your local counter. Stop in or buy online and pick up in-store. With access to a huge range of HVAC and plumbing products and experts who understand your business, it's almost like we're on the job with you. Visit Ferguson.com/pro to shop now or find a location near you. Ferguson, built for the pro.
The Celtics play here at the Sports Hub.
Bruins with 2 assists on the night with those feeds. The Shaw's and Star Market Foundation has donated another $200 to the Greater Boston Food Bank to help fight food insecurity. Learn more about our Feeding the Puck for Families program at 985thesportshub.com/feed the puck. 8:48 left in regulation. Bruins trailing Anaheim 2-1. As they kick off this 3-game homestand this week here at TD Garden. Toronto Maple Leafs in town on Tuesday. The Islanders on Thursday. And it'll be a back-to-back of afternoon games this coming weekend in Pittsburgh and Minnesota. At the face-off, Ducks looking to clear the zone. Cannot. Geekie along the far circle, handing to Pasternak. Back toward Geekie, but picked off. And here comes Vetrano with the Jets on. Right wing side. Got one across, and coming back to make the play was Wotherspoon.
Yeah, he got beat there at the offensive blue line, but doesn't give up on the play. Gets himself all the way back and is able to get a stick on that attempted pass.
Toronto hit Lorisle on the far side boards. Puck comes out to the blue line, but not out of the zone. McTavish from the near circle tried to get one across. Redirected. Came to Terry. Out near the blue line. Terry will play it down into the left wing corner. Wotherspoon, the only man there. Up the right side of Pasternak. Wheels it through the neutral zone. Pass for Zacha. Hit him in the back of his skate. And turned over. Here's Gauthier dropping one off for McTavish. Zacha disrupted that on the back check. Fabry picks off a pass in the neutral ice. Zacha able to win it back along the far side. And now brought ahead by Zadorov, carrying it all the way around behind the Ducks' net. Gets a pass away to Frederick, fighting his way away from McTavish. Pass through the slot, though, picked off and knocked out of the zone by Fabry. 7.5 to go here in the third. Love down by Trouba inside the Duck zone. Pass tipped on to Gauthier on the left wing side. He and Zellweger moving ahead. Centering pass taken away by Peak. Frederick rips a pass to Callahan. Up the left side to Coyle, and deep it goes. To the back of the net. Zellweger to the near side for Leeson. Take the pass, and now gives it up to Zellweger. Dumoulin just inside his own blue line. Johnston will play it down the left wing wall.
Brad Marchand back on the Bruins bench, by the way.
They've gone to the room for the past handful of minutes. after taking that spill into the boards. On the near side boards inside the Bruins zone. Peak. Wouldn't win that puck. Johnston goes behind the Bruins net. Stops. Comes back toward his backhand. Angles the puck off the near wall to Dumoulin. Sends it over to the far side. Shot to the net. Knocked down by Swayman. He gathers it in and covers with 6:26 to go here in the third.
Let's check out the upcoming Hardest Working Player of the Week content on 985thesportshub.com Bruins page, brought to you by the Peterson School. Peterson School is now enrolling for their spring semester in Woburn, Westwood, Worcester, Haverhill, and Turner Falls. Visit petersonschool.com to learn more.
The defensive zone face-off. Down 2-1, 6:26 to go. Bruins will have Beecher to take this draw against Carlson. Both guys a little anxious. Now Beecher wins it cleanly. Carlo will steer it from out behind the Bruins net to Coyle. Right back to Carlo. To the left side. And Zadorov bounces one into the right wing corner. Dumoulin there first. Steers it around the far boards.
Chances have been hard to come by this period. The Bruins had a couple earlier in the period. Rostall made good saves on, but really 3 shots. That might have been their 4th right there from a tough angle.
There's Kastelik right along the goal line, extended near corner. Beecher sends one across for Zadorov. Walks it along the blue line toward the near side. Backhands it down the wall. Out of the corner, Beecher to Zadorov at the right point. Patra upended as he tried to play the puck into the middle. Dumoulin able to win that back.
I was watching Patra. That's his first shift since taking that big hit in the corner. He was under a lot of pain when he went to the bench. I wasn't sure if he was going to go down to the room or not, but out there for that shift.
Zegras dumped it in with 5.5 to go. Bruins will head back the other way. Zacha carries across the Anaheim line, but his shot blocked up and out of play off of Gudas. We'll step aside here with 5:24 to go. Anaheim 2, Bruins 1 here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network. Driven by the versatile Honda CR-V. It's your local Honda dealer.
You can shop during this ad by saying, Alexa, add to cart. You are bountiful. Nature's Bounty hair, skin, and nails fruit pectin gummies with collagen and biotin plus antioxidant CNE help you shine from the inside out. To add Nature's Bounty hair, skin, and nails gummies with collagen and biotin to your cart, just say, Alexa, add to cart. That's Alexa, add to cart.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
Life can change in an instant. My brother-in-law died suddenly, leaving behind my sister and her 2 young kids. He didn't have life insurance, so now they're facing the unthinkable, leaving their home. After seeing what they went through, I immediately called SelectQuote to get life insurance for my family. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent compared policies from highly rated carriers to find me the right coverage in my budget. I got a $500,000 policy for only $16 a month. Plus, I qualified for same-day life insurance. No medical exam was required, and I was covered by the time I hung up. Even if you have a health concern, SelectQuote agents can find you the right policy at the lowest price. And while you can't prepare emotionally for a loss, SelectQuote can give you peace of mind with life insurance. Don't wait until it's too late.
Go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Listen live. Check out our podcast with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
5:24 left in regulation. Bruins trailing 2-1. There have been a total of 6 shots on goal in this third period.
Yeah.
Bruins have 4 of them.
Yeah, I mean, Anaheim scored those 2 goals in the first. They really haven't done a whole lot since then. But the Bruins haven't been able to push very much in this third period. Anaheim has sat back a little bit, making sure they don't get outnumbered off the rush. They clogged it up.
And a face-off in the defensive zone here. And we'll get the puck out of their zone. McComb trying to slap it forward. It'll come to Wotherspoon. Geeky pass off the stick of Zaka, turned over. Terry at center ice. Comes back toward the Boston line. Skates in. Takes a shot. Save made. Vetrano got it back in front. And a chance. Kick back toward the corner. McComb at the point. Over to Gudis. Deflected pass. Cleared out by Zaka. He's got Geeky ahead on the breakaway. Took a shot. And Dostal made the save.
Geeky's had by far the best opportunities for the Bruins today. He's had 2 in this third period. Had at least 2 in the first period.
Carlo back in the Bruins zone as we approach 4.5 minutes to go. Here's Marchand back on the ice. Marchand right circle trying to drag one toward the slot. Knocked off balance, but kept alive. Lindholm pushed it down into the corner for Coyle. Toward the back of the net. Zellweger forced it back toward that far corner. Trouba helps it out there as well, but Coyle got a stick on it. Now Marchand digs in, wins that puck back. Whistled away from it by Zellweger off the near side boards. Lindholm tried to play it back toward Coyle. Diving effort, but Zellweger dealt it away from him. McTavish to Zellweger, and deep into the Boston zone it goes with under 4 minutes to play. Off the far wall. Puck lifted up into the air. Comes bounding down near the blue line. Linus Lindholm will drop it back. Zadorov skates it ahead to the red line. Tried to chip it deep. Didn't get much on it. It'll come back into the neutral zone. Razzo, Patra, touch pass towards center ice. No one can seem to find it. It'll get back deep into Boston territory. Zadorov in the corner with under 3.5 to play. Zegras takeaway. Sweeps it back around behind. Killorn on the far side. Gives to Carlson. Carlson got it back up top, and a shot blocked by Brazo. On the near side wall, Killorn will force it back down deep. Zadorov reaching for it, couldn't knock it away. Back to the point for Dumoulin. On to the near side, and a Hellison one-timer that was tipped and went wide. Under 3 minutes to go. Bruins stuck in their own zone here, down a goal. Killorn at the back of the net. Sweeps it up the far side. Dumoulin waits for it at the right point. Gives over there to Vetrano. Skates it down toward the corner. To the back of the net, Killorn. Vetrano out of the far corner. They work it back to the blue line. They'll get it to Dumoulin at the left point. Ducks in no hurry here at all. Vetrano in the far corner. Brazo has him pinned against the wall. Zadorov digging in, trying to find that puck, as is Frederick. Peak took a slap at it. It'll come back toward the blue line. Lacombe to Gudis. Gudis fumbles it out of the zone. Shoots it across ice off the far wall just to try to keep it away from everyone. Bruins trying to get changes. Nobody wanted to play the puck.
Because it would have been too many men on the ice.
Wotherspoon's got it now on the near side. 2:05 to go. And the Bruins finally get it back into the Anaheim zone. Geeky swept it around the far boards. Swayman's headed to the bench for the extra attacker. Pasternak in the left wing corner. Going toward the back of the net. Will wrap it up the near side. Marchand at the hash marks. Deals it back to Wotherspoon at the right point. Took a shot, and the save by Dostal. No rebound.
Most likely have a timeout here. We got one more bill to pay. Hockey season's the perfect time to replace your old boiler with a new Peerless boiler. Don't wait until you have no heat. Go to peerlessboilers.com for a dealer near you. And remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers.
And there's 1:46 to go.
Well, they just got their unit on the ice, so they haven't been stuck out there. But they went a while without touching the puck inside their own zone. I mean, there was no dangerous chances, but Anaheim had possession.
And they were content to just play the four corners offense here. As puck goes around behind the net. Steered up the far wall. Pasternak kept it in. Whipped it into the middle here for Laura. Now Marchand, top of the right circle. Down to Geeky in the corner. Back to Marchand. Again, down low here for Geeky. He steps in behind the net. Deals it back to Marchand, right circle. Fumbled it, but got it right back. Lorai, Marchand, right circle. Shot, ticked up into the air, and comes down to Geeky out of the corner against Dumoulin. Skates it behind the net. Off the far wall to Lorai. Minute 15 to go. Lorai center of the blue line. Back to Geeky. Scores! A blast from the left circle. And we've got the official waving his arms with 1:11 to go.
I think it's a goalie interference. Referee waving this one off. Fans don't realize it yet, but he immediately waves this off. Bruins going to the net. It's Elias Lindholm in front of the net. To me, that looks like a good goal. He doesn't make any contact at all with him. So we're seeing what they're calling here, but
they're calling the ice as no goal due to goalie interference.
Wow. Dostal's, he's initiating some contact, but then he's got plenty of time to reset here. I think
it pokes Lindholm in the back twice. Lindholm turns around and gives him a little bit of a bump back, but
he reset. One punch to the back of the head, or the back. Lindholm gives him a little pop, and then Dostal moves to his right. I think he's set, but I'm a little biased.
So it appeared, though, the Bruins had tied it with 1:11 to go. Goal has been taken off the board.
I mean, they got to review it, right? And I don't know if that review comes from the Bruins. I think it might have to come from the league at this point of the game.
Brad Marchand having a conversation with Frederic Lecuyer, who was the referee who made the call.
Oh, he got time to set.
Crowd obviously voicing their displeasure. Lecuyer is over talking with Joe Sacco right now.
Yeah, here comes. They got to look at this again. The problem is it's called no goal.
Boston is challenging the play for no goal interference.
So the officials will put the headsets on, and
it's there's mild contact there. Dostal makes the initial contact. He gives him one shot to the back. He gives him a second shot to the back, talking about Lindholm. Then Lindholm goes, just kind of gives him a little bit of a bump, but then he gets back out of the crease. Dostal follows the puck. He moves to his right. He's set for the shot. So, I mean, the only thing that they can say is that he did not get reset for the shot. And he did. This is going to count. Well, it's 50-50, right? With the goalie interference calls, coaches always say we don't know,
right?
But to me, the only question is, did he have time to reset and play his position properly? And it looks like he did. And if that's the case, the goal stands.
I mean, the whole exchange is initiated by Dostal. I mean, he takes two pokes at the back of Lindholm for no particular reason.
But the third one was Lindholm went back into it.
Right. But Lindholm had not, he had not strayed into the crease or anything like that when he's getting contact, and then he turned around and he did, reach out into the crease to make contact.
Well, Dostal can do that, though. That's, goalies do that all the time.
Sure.
The only question to me is the reset, and if they feel, I feel that he had time to reset and get squared up to the shot. The shot dipped on him. It either hit something or it knuckled because it dipped and it went below the glove. It was a good shot, got a lot on it, but it definitely knuckled on him. And he was there to make the save. So
the officials still looking at this.
You know what? Yeah. And the whole thing is it egregious?
Right.
That's not egregious.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
And we have seen worse not get called.
Follows the puck, he gets set. We're watching it on the replay. No, he just misses the puck because it dips. That is not egregious at all. That's the word that they've used a lot of.
Right.
Here comes the answer.
The officials take off the headsets.
After video review is determined that we have a good goal.
And it counts. And we are tied with 1:11 to go. So Morgan Geekie ties the game with his 18th of the season. That's now 8 goals in his last 12 games. And we got a brand new hockey game with 71 seconds left. 2-2 the score. So they'll get ready to face it off at center ice. Bruins score on their 8th shot of the period.
Well, it's been geeky. He had the breakaway. He had the one-timer from the left wing circle that Dostal was the first shot that he faced in that third period. First shot that he faced all game, coming in relief. And he's got a smile on his face right now because he knows he's had some great opportunities. He had a breakaway early in the third.
So they'll drop it at center ice here again with 1:05 to go. Off the draw, Zadorov will play it off the far boards, just across the Anaheim line, just onside. Coyle getting back onside as he plays the puck into the right wing corner. Here's Marchand sending one toward the slot. It's a skate, kicks back toward the near side. Strome will play it up the wall and out. Carlo from just outside the blue line will send it back in. It'll go all the way around the far boards, and the Ducks will bring it back into the neutral zone. Backhanded deep. And Swayman sets it up at the back of the net. So we hit 30 seconds to go in regulation. Tie game. Zadorov's pass redirected deep by Geekie. Pasternak goes in after it. Dostal steered away from the net. Geekie tried to shoot. It was blocked and knocked out of the zone off of Zegras. 16 left. Pasternak redirects one toward the net, and Dostal will cover that one up in the crease. So an attack zone faceoff with 12.3 left on the clock.
Yeah, and they won't let Anaheim make a line change here because of where that puck came from. So
Pasternak, Geekie, Zacha, Peak, and Lohrei here for the Bruins. For this faceoff in the offensive zone, it'll be to the right of Dostal. Off the draw, battle for it toward the far corner. Zacha sweeps it down toward that corner again. Trouba cut it off and played it out of the zone. Killorn will just send it softly through the neutral ice, and we're headed to overtime. So the Bruins, at bare minimum, have managed to grab a point in this one, and they'll play for a second point in overtime when we come back. 2-2 the score here at TD Garden on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
The home of the Revs, the Sports Hub.
2-2 our score as we go to overtime here at TD Garden. Bruins goal from Morgan Geekie, his 18th of the year. Mason Lohrei and Brad Marchand the assist at 18:49. With the extra attacker on, Bruins able to knot it up.
yeah, and they got it right. You know, that's what review's there for. I mean, I could see why maybe the referee thought that it was goalie interference, but they got it right once they went to the video. That puck dipped one way or another, whether it was off of the stick of Geekie or whether it deflected off of something, but it dipped down below the glove hand of Dostal.
The assist for Brad Marchand ties him with Phil Esposito for 6th most in Bruins history, 553 career assists for the Bruins captain, who went back to the locker room earlier in the third period after having hit the wall hard. Comes back and helps the Bruins even it up. So now an all-important second point on the line as they go to 3-on-3. Lohrei, Zacha, and Pasternak. Zacha going to bring through the neutral zone. Carries across the line. Drops it off to Pasternak for the shot. Dostal made the save. Long rebound scooped up by Lohrei. He'll carry it around behind the Ducks net. Around to the far side and send it in front. Zacha lost his balance in front. It'll be Lacombe turning back in his own zone here for the Ducks. Lacombe passes into the neutral zone. Strome hands off to Terry. Terry cutting across the line. Left wing side. Strome drags it away from Marchand. Goes behind the net. Flips it back toward that far side. Terry brings it out to the blue line. Hands off there to Zellweger. Zellweger down the left wing circle against Zacha. Goes in behind the net. Brings it to the near right side corner. Stops along the hash marks. Tried to cut back down low. Ran into Zegras, and that freed the puck up to Zacha. The Bruins have possession.
Yeah. Zacha needs a line change. So does Lohrei. Lohrei has the puck. He's holding on to it, waiting for Zacha to make that change.
So Zacha gets to the bench. Lohrei still with the puck behind the Bruins net. Comes toward the near side circle. Plays it into the neutral zone to Marchand. Marchand will bring it back into the Boston zone. Give Lohrei a chance to go to the bench. Remember, Lohrei was under the weather earlier today. Didn't even know if he'd play today. Marchand down the right wing circle. Comes around behind the Ducks net. Deals it for Zadorov, who will bring it back into the neutral zone and reset. With 3:20 to go here in overtime. Zadorov carries it around Vetrano. Got it in front. And it kicked off a skate. Ducks have it. Cleared away. Here's Zegras down the left side. Took the shot. Glove stops Swayman. Vetrano forces him to hold it. And they ran into each other and stared at each other a little bit. And Zadorov comes over and gives Vetrano a little shove.
You know, Zadorov had a nice little move in the neutral zone. He brings that puck back out to the neutral zone. Just kind of calmly doesn't do anything and is kind of inviting the checker to him. And all of a sudden he turns and goes. And he had a lane coming up the left wing side. And he was the guy who got back on Vetrano, Zegras on that shot from the left wing side. I mean, we talked about his ability to skate. You know, he makes some decisions that make you scratch your head sometimes, but he can skate.
3:09 left here in overtime and a face-off in the Bruins zone. Coyle wins it. Geeky's got it. Wotherspoon will bring it out of the zone.
Coyle right off the ice after winning that face-off. Pasternak jumps out for him.
Pasta's got the puck from the red lines. Carries across the blue. Cutting to the right circle against McTavish. Heels back toward the blue line. Hands it off. Shot by Wotherspoon. Got blocked. Lacombe shaken up. Yep. He's on one leg right now. Pasternak with a shot. That one blocked by McTavish. Stays in play. Wotherspoon down low to Geeky. Lacombe can barely move.
Isolate him.
Pasternak moving up high. Left side. Geeky one-timer. Dostal with the save. Geeky got it back to the far side and just missed Pasternak with a pass. That'll give Lacombe a chance to go to the bench as the Ducks come back behind the net. McTavish goes down against Pasternak. Got the puck though to Zellweger. Ducks with control with 2:15 to go here in overtime.
And some of the Anaheim management next to us wanted a penalty there.
Brought across the line here by Terry. Shot blocked by Wotherspoon out of the far corner. It came to Coyle. Now to Zacha. In the neutral zone. Zacha peels back toward his own zone and hands back there to Wotherspoon. We're under 2 minutes to go here in overtime. Bruins moving from right to left on offense. Pass up ice. Finds Coyle in the neutral zone. Coyle carries across the line. Waiting for Lohrei. Hands it to him out near the blue line. Lohrei pivots away from Terry. Carries toward the high slot to the far circle. A backhander in front is blocked.
Tried to get that past Coyle.
Carlson gets it to Terry and gets it right back with 1.5 minutes to go in overtime. Ducks come forward. Carlson to Terry, high slot. Deals off to the left circle. Dumoulin a shot. Save made. Rebound score. Leo Carlson shoots it into an empty net. And the Ducks will win it in overtime 3-2. So the Bruins able to battle back in the third period late and get a point. But the Ducks will get the 2 points out of this one tonight. As Leo Carlson scores his 10th of the season, his second overtime game winner of the year. 3-2 the final here at TD Garden. We're back with a recap next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V. It's your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club. Politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize. And turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
Hotels.com knows that planning your book club's annual field trip can get chaotic. Rhea, the romance reader, wants to stay in Prince Charming's castle. Self-improvement Steve needs a hotel gym. Leela and Jeff, the horror fans, ghosted the group chat about budget. And you've read enough true crime to know that murdering them isn't a real option. With the Hotels.com app, invite all your friends to collaborate and find the perfect hotel together. Share properties, vote on your favorites, and book all in one place. Find your perfect somewhere with Hotels.com.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hello, my name is Jorge Gaviria, and I'm the founder of Hacienda. We partner with farmers in Mexico to bring heirloom corn products to every kitchen. With my Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One, I earn unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase. And it has no preset spending limit, which means my purchasing power adapts to my business needs. My Spark card helps me fulfill my mission of bringing masa to the masses. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/SparkCashPlus.
Geico's motorcycle expertise gives me the coverage I need, like 24/7 claims. I'm on cloud 9.
Disclaimer, clouds are wholly unable to support the weight of an adult human.
What's happening?
Furthermore, clouds are not numbered. Even if you procured a jetpack and searched, you'd find no cloud numbered 9. However, at that altitude, you'd likely befriend a flock of migrating snow geese.
Geese?
Who'd encourage you to leave your 24/7 Geico motorcycle claims insurance behind, as they would take you in and even share their dinner of crickets and clovers with you.
Ew.
Geico assumes no liability for any indigestion that may occur from a clover cricket dinner. Geico, expertise for your motorcycle.
Life can change in an instant. My brother-in-law died suddenly, leaving behind my sister and her 2 young kids. He didn't have life insurance, so now they're facing the unthinkable, leaving their home. After seeing what they went through, I immediately called SelectQuote to get life insurance for my family. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent compared policies from highly rated carriers to find me the right coverage in my budget. I got a $500,000 policy for only $16 a month. Plus, I qualified for same-day life insurance. No medical exam was required, and I was covered by the time I hung up. Even if you have a health concern, SelectQuote agents can find you the right policy at the lowest price. And while you can't prepare emotionally for a loss, SelectQuote can give you peace of mind with life insurance. Don't wait until it's too late.
Go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
The only place to hear the game, the Sports Hub.
Carlson gets it to Terry and gets it right back with a minute and a half to go in overtime. Ducks come forward. Carlson to Terry, high slot. Deals off to the left circle. Dumoulin a shot. Save made. Rebound score. Leo Carlson shoots it into an empty net. And the Ducks will win it in overtime 3-2. Yeah, Bruins able to grab a point in this one with a comeback late in the third period, but can't get the second point in overtime, fall 3-2. And, when you're hitting the stretch run here with 25 games to go and you're trying to make a playoff push, every point counts, and it's another one that they don't get tonight.
Well, you got one, and it wasn't looking like they were going to get any, and that's what happened the last 2 games before the break, right? Rings a little hollow, right? You want to... You don't like the way that it happened. That first period where you just had letdowns, and in quick succession you allow a couple of goals against you in that first period. Could have been another one by McTavish who hit the post late. You just kind of fall asleep for a couple of minutes there, and all of a sudden it's a 2-0 game going into the locker room after one period. It wasn't that Anaheim didn't have chances prior to that either. I mean, they had some at the very beginning of the game, and then the Bruins found their game. They got to it and got some opportunities. Gibson was good when he needed to be. They were aided by a couple power plays in the second period, including the 5-on-3. That's where they got their first goal of the game. And then they stuck with it in the third. In the third, it was tough to come by. I mean, Anaheim didn't have many chances in the third period. And the Bruins had to work for their opportunities as well. Geekie had a breakaway. He had another one-timer from the left wing circle that didn't go in. That was the first shot that Dostal had seen. And then finally, they break through. And a little bit of a controversy where the referee called it off because of a goalie interference. But once they looked at it, they realized no goalie interference. And Geekie was able to tie that game. So, yes, they get 1 point from it. They had a couple chances in overtime. And, weren't able to capitalize on the opportunities that they had. A lot of puck possession. you know, and then Anaheim gets. It was a great chance by Dumoulin that's kicked out by Swayman. Unfortunately, goes right to Carlson, and Carlson's got himself to. I don't know if it was an empty net because Coyle was there trying to block that shot, but he had a lot of net to shoot at anyhow. So it was. It's no disrespect to Anaheim. Anaheim's they have a similar point total than as the Bruins. So, you know, we have to stop looking at it that way where, you're losing to teams below. They're not that far below you in the standings.
This puts them over 500 by one game, and the Bruins are now, they're 3 games above 500.
Yeah, so you're right there. And it's it starts to make the decisions harder and harder for them, and what they need to do, what they want to do here moving forward. And it's up to the players to win games, and then it's up to management and whatnot to figure out what the best course of action is. So, but the players, look, you figured it'd be rusty today, and it was. It took a little while to really kind of get going and ramp up, and turned into a pretty decent game. And it was shots and chances were hard to come by in that third period for both teams. But it was the Bruins that needed them. Anaheim was content until they had the goal scored on them.
All right, let's go downstairs and hear some of Joe Sacco's postgame.
Lindy obviously hasn't been around, so I thought that if you put that aside, the start of the game wasn't what we liked. We weren't really in rhythm. We didn't come out and execute. They took the play to us. I did like some pushback there in the first period. We had some pushback, and then we gave up that that goal, that 4-on-4 goal, and then they got the momentum back again.